audio.
Yeah, if you can hit record on the... You're right to record video as well?
Yeah. Recording in progress.
I mean, just recording. I've got it.
Yeah.
I just won't be able to see anything you do on the screens.
Let me... Right, okay. So let's just allow that to crack on. How do you feel about Friday the 13th being on Pluto TV?
Text me, mate. It's gonna be a part of the news. Surely that's big news.
Does that mean that is going to be in better quality? Is that what we're saying?
I mean, it should be better than YouTube, certainly. Yeah. I mean, if like me, you've got some of your very own physical media editions.
Your very own physical media editions. Oh yeah, you've got it on DVD. I forgot about that.
Yeah.
Mate. Right.
Toxic Avenger 2023. Just make sure I've got the wiki up for later as well.
Oh yeah, we've got to do a Toxic Avenger. I did find a couple of other bits of news. We are live now, by the way. Before
if like me, you've got some.
Oh Jesus! Did you hear yourself twice then?
Just for a second. Don't worry, it wasn't too distressing.
There we go. We're live. We're live, Andy. Let me just quickly share the link. So you just keep talking to me. Talk to me about Friday the 13th.
I will talk to you about Friday the 13th, my favourite TV series. You know, I'm still off it at the minute. I've not got back not got back from our little hiatus while we were on FrightFest. I'm still doing a little bit of catch-ups there, though. So we'll return to Friday the 13th, maybe next week. That regularly scheduled programming.
Do you feel like you've got over FrightFest now? Do you feel like you're on it?
I feel like I'm just about physically repaired. How about you? How are you feeling now? You're still not getting the routines back in?
Well, I'm still a little bit poorly. I've still got a little bit of poorly.
A little bit of the poorlies about you.
I've got the poorlies knocking about me, which is kind of frustrating because I just haven't been able to get back to normality. But I guess that's what happens to you when you sit yourself in a room full of what?
Yeah, just full of what was it? Someone at home asked me in the pub the other day, said, "All right, been at a film festival, Black T-shirt Brigade, was it?" And I was like, I'm offended by that, but also yes, absolutely correct.
He said Black T-shirt Brigade.
Yeah.
And what did you say to that?
I said unfair, but not untrue.
Unfair, but entirely true. I don't think I was a black T-shirt every single day.
No, that's true. I wore a white T-shirt some of the days. I think he's being offensive to everyone that was in attendance. Actually, if you were there at a premiere, people were looking lovely.
People were looking fantastic, yeah. God, we already said that about the Glam Brigade. Like, if I came out in my shorts and T-shirt looking like a right...
Some people like that. Like, if you ever do a film, mate, that's out there, we're going to have to really dress up. If we're doing that, though, then we'll get a real fancy place to stay.
There we go. Right, okay. So we're live on YouTube now, and I think we're about to go live on TikTok.
My goodness,
we're all over the bloody place. So I'll try and keep an eye on two lots of
I feel terrible because I get to sit in blissful ignorance and talk to you as if no one were here and we were just chatting away as normal.
That's fine.
That's a good level to be at, because then if no one is here, then doesn't matter. Makes no difference to me.
I've done Twitch streams in the past where I reckon nobody goes. Your unique listener, your unique watchers were like 3 people, and even that's on a bloody good day. I could do the intro now if you're ready.
Also, look at this. I'm on brand. I've got original recipe stuff on.
I've seen something. I'll tell you about this off pod, but I've seen something cease and desist, I reckon.
Oh, you reckon?
Yeah, but I reckon that font was doing the rounds a few years ago when I decided to use it. So cease and desist, yes, but also Horror Hangout
also publicly available,
readily available. The font, but they did use the name Horror Hangout as well. So I was like, hang on a minute.
I have seen something called Horror Hangout previously. It seems to have lasted for half a dozen episodes and then disappeared.
Basically, even if there were 10 Horror Hangouts, I don't think I have to worry too much about anyone picking up the old episode 400, right? That's a lot of work. That's nearly a decade's worth of work.
Yeah, I think we're probably, if another Horror Hangout turns up now, without having to murder them in a car park, I think we've probably got claims to the original
Yeah, don't murder anyone in a car park. That'd be severely.
The record will show. I said I didn't have to.
What? The record will show. Officer, the
Shoot
record
the
says.
tapes.
I didn't.
I distinctly said I would not murder anyone in a car.
Come on. I'm going to do an intro now. You ready?
Okay, I am ready. Anyone who came on early, because we won't do this, this is the bonus content that no one will get to see.
No one will get to see me and Andy just talking shit. Just him threatening, not threatening to kill anyone, and me just...
Yeah, people say, oh, have that chat before you start the broadcast. We do. We do it, and we still do it. All the chat we do after we press go.
All right, yeah, ready to hit record? Hello there.
Like, share and subscribe, guys.
Okay. Welcome to the Horror Hangout for the 400th time. Oh my god. A podcast where film fans watch the best and worst horror movies of all time and talk about them. My name is Ben Errington. Today I'm joined by regular co-host Mr.
Andy Conduit Turner. How you doing, Ben, on this 400th occasion?
I'm doing great on this 400th occasion. A little bit of the old FrightFest flu, easy for you to say, is maybe lingering slightly. I guess it's been about a week since we've returned. Yeah, it takes about a week to get back to normality, I think, right?
Yeah, it does. It takes a lot. Well, any convention of that length, it's all that beige food. It's all that sitting down in the cinema. It's all that content flying into your eyes. Let alone getting out there and recording interviews and stuff. And if you haven't congratulated Ben, I'm here to congratulate you. Almost 12 hours of content.
Yeah.
Through your
congratulate you as well.
Editing hands.
You're also congratulated. I dread to think how many hours the actual main episode edit took. And since watching some of it back, I think I've maybe made a mistake, as far as I can tell, just once. Please don't pop out, don't point out any more to me, where the overlays are slightly off. But oh my god, like literally the audio edit, the compiling the videos, the audio cleanup, the overlays, the tagging itself took forever. Like literally just luckily I managed to transcribe the video and I could just click through to where we started talking about film. But I honestly reckon before I got back from London, a good probably 4 hours worth of editing in terms of just bits here and there, and then also on the coach on the way home. Then and the
following day. And
then the following day, it just went on forever. So I think I told you, I said I ended up going till 2 a.m. getting it done. The main reason for that was because the export just took forever as well. Obviously 5 hours when you do, because obviously the average we tend to do these episodes an hour and a half to 2 hours. I mean, it goes over that fairly regularly, but you're kind of just compressing the Zoom video. This is incredibly boring for anyone who's not interested in this stuff. the Zoom file is obviously quite small, and the export doesn't take too long. The edit doesn't take too long. But this,
but 5.5 hours of 4K high definition video.
Unfortunately, I had to leave that at the wayside in the end, Andy, because the 4K export was telling me at one point it was going to take 36 hours to export. So I was I wouldn't mind doing it, but I get the fear of I don't know, it being.
What if it gets to 35 hours and you have a power cut?
What if it gets to 35 hours and my laptop just decides to
disintegrate. At this point, patreon.com/horror hangout, everybody. If you want to buy Ben a supercomputer, that's how you do it.
A supercomputer, yeah, exactly. We've got our first message of the evening, Andy. It's on YouTube.
Is it from Luke Condor?
It's not from Luke Condor. It's from Sean McKenna. And Sean McKenna says, been listening for around, now he says 35 years. But I'm guessing he means...
He's probably just listened to one FrightFest
3 to 5? Yeah. He's just listened to one FrightFest episode. He says congratulations. He said he's been listening for around 35 years. I'd say that's only half of the length of this podcast. So well done for that. Thank you so much for listening, of course.
Yeah, thank you, Sean. Lovely to have you on board. As I always say, I'd do this if no one was listening, but it feels kind of nice that someone does.
Yeah. It's nice that someone does, I'd do it if no one was listening. I'd do it if 3 people were listening. Who cares? It's always a good time. But yeah, FrightFest for us, the 5 hours 15 episode was the biggest episode we've ever done, the biggest undertaking, and yeah, with all the bonus content as well, 12 hours plus. And we dare you to find a podcast. I guess anyone affiliated not officially with FrightFest, not in an official capacity, but we're not the actual
they would
FrightFest
struggle
channel.
with that amount.
It's a lot, isn't it?
Bearing in mind, Ben, you know this, but for everyone else's benefit, I'm moving that goalpost. Almost 12 hours was not enough. I got 2 more interviews in the bank this week.
In the bank, you're an animal. And
they'll be coming out soon, everybody.
And I did say to you, oh my God, you're working overtime. Like, who famously worked overtime?
Not Dolly Parton.
No.
Famously 95. Who's the opposite of Dolly Parton? Teddy. Togetherin.
Teddy Together. Jesus. Well done, Teddy Togetherin. You've done the business, mate.
Always working overtime.
Always working overtime. But yeah, I am impressed. I mean, I don't think I could fully catch up with normality, and you were already working on more content, so good work. But yeah.
So, on that front, if you're watching the feed soon, we have an interview with the director of The Rose, which we watched, reviewed, but didn't get to talk to anyone about. So that is coming out soon. And also the writer-director of Kombucha coming up soon as Ben gets just a bloody minute to himself to edit some more videos.
Yeah. But, the content train keeps on chugging because we've got the September lineup is out now as well. So alongside those new interviews, we are going to have some more episodes as well for the rest of the month because we're not stopping now, mate. 400. We don't get to 400 and go, that was nice.
Completed it now, actually.
We've completed horror podcast thing forever. No, we can go on. We can carry on to the end of time. It'll be like I was going to say the AI uprising will manage to capture our likenesses and our voices perfectly to recreate new content. But I don't think you can't do that, can you? We're too unique.
I think we're too unique, but also I'd welcome an immortal AI with all of my glaring personality flaws. Great.
Yeah.
Get stuck in.
I'd enjoy
that. Actually, because I don't hate myself, such an AI would probably get on with me quite well.
Yeah. There we go. I like the thought of that. Well, that's lovely.
You're right.
But yeah, so based off the back of our Horror Hangout FrightFest extravaganza, we've got some people that we met and we chatted to coming onto the show. We've got the guys from Draw One Last Breath podcast coming on for Conjuring Last Rites, which is out the 5th, so that's this Friday. And yeah, we're going to be recording an episode that'll be out next week, next Wednesday. Looking forward to chatting to the guys there, Matt, Paul and Paul, or Matt, Paul and Butch, depending on how you like to refer to them. If
how formal you want to be.
It depends how formal you want to be. If you want to refer to someone as Butch, if you accidentally called the wrong Paul Butch, they'll go...
Just say it's a compliment, just a description.
It's
an adjective in your case.
You're a very Butch man. That's fine. It's fine if you're not, If you're not a Butch man, I wouldn't say I'm a particularly Butch man, but Andy,
live your life.
Don't speak for you.
I'm pretty intimidating if anyone's met me, but apart from that,
pretty damn intimidating. After that, we've got Mal Jutley joining us to discuss The Long Walk. Obviously, he's a FrightFest aficionado. 15 years under his belt. That's some serious going. We think we're good having 400 podcast episodes under his belt. 15 FrightFests.
15 FrightFest years. He's basically the Undertaker.
He's basically the Undertaker. A gong sounds when he walks into any room, pretty much. His eyes are always rolling back into his head. I mean, that might be... Who knows what that is?
You see a set of ropes and he's there, you just walk along them.
He'll walk along them. Do you remember what that move's called, Andy? I told you.
You told me the other week it's called Old School. I wouldn't have told you no. I would have called it Walk Along the Ropes move.
Oh my God! He's doing the Walk Along the Ropes move! God damn! Yeah, and then after that, we have got Leviathan scheduled in, an older one, 1989's Leviathan, science fiction underwater monster movie. Guests to be confirmed. Currently,
we know. We'll tell you when.
No, but we'll tell you when the time is right. We don't want to, we don't want to lock anyone in unless they've officially confirmed, because life's busy. We're looking forward to that.
But Leviathan's going to be happening. You you are going to see on the Leviathan episode, Marv of Harry and Marv, Evelyn from He-Man Master of the Universe,
RoboCop.
All the big hitters.
All the big hitters. I'm talking about big hits. Don't want to spoil anything, but there's a very interesting choice of punch in that particular film. It's so good.
It's been a while since I've seen it.
It's been a while since you've seen it.
About that again.
Yeah, but not just that. We've got some other content lined up as well. I've just told you about new episodes. I've just told you about interviews as well. we're doing some new content as well. We're going to try and hit some micro content, some, how do you call it? Succinct slice.
Some succinct slices.
Succinct
of
slice.
horror. Easy for me to bloody say. But
mini reviews in video form.
Yeah.
That's right, isn't it?
Yeah. Channeling the likes of our friend Ashley B. Red. Also, like, it's all to do with behind the curtain, everybody. When you're doing all that FrightFest admin, you're having a lot of conversations with folks that have new and upcoming movies that they want to get out there, want to get shared. If they're kind enough to offer us a screener to watch something early, like, we want to be able to give you a little bit more quick content, little things we can put out there, tell you about a film that might be coming to cinemas or streaming quite soon. And you know what? Try and keep it under 3 minutes. Pretty hard task for us, how we rabbit on, but it'd be a good little exercise in self-control for both of us, I think.
Yeah, and I like and this. We've got the first video ready to go, but I like it that your head fills up the whole frame. I'm enjoying that.
Yeah, got a big giant moon-sized head, haven't I?
Big old Swede. I'm looking forward. Yeah, well, I'm not saying your head's large, but your head fills the frame proportionally, as it would for any sized head, if you made the most of the zoom function. You know, so you don't feel self-conscious.
But you've zoomed in. To be fair, I like, you know, it wasn't that I was glaring down the camera like a Ring doorbell.
I like if you did the 0.5 zoom, angled the camera slightly above your head, looking down the bridge of your nose.
Glare down it like a Ring doorbell on Purge night.
Yeah.
That's in.
So, let us bloody in, you mugs. So, it's an interesting... Well, interesting is the wrong word. What could I say? A buffet of delights to...
It is a buffet of delights.
Consume.
A bit like how, you know, when you go back to school in September, if you're a person that goes to school, a load of new things coming at you. It's like that for Horror Hangout, but not depressing, like returning to school is.
Yeah.
I don't know, maybe there's a contingent of people out there who enjoyed school and didn't find it an endless 5-10 year slog. But, you know.
From Mr. Sean McKenna, who did just comment and say that he's been listening to us for 35 years, he's given us a pledge on Patreon.
Oh, thank you, Sean. He's buying you that supercomputer, Ben. He's working on it.
The supercomputer, 4K
He's
footage.
like, I want this in 4K footage. Ben's going to need a
4K
faster
footage
processor.
Please give me a faster processor.
Get a faster processor. Posts expendable.
Thank you so much.
That content is pure.
That's very kind of you.
Thank you, Sean.
Very kind of you. So we have got some horror news, but from the first piece of horror news, we're going to jump into something a little bit different. Obviously, this isn't something we've done on the show. It isn't something we've done on a live stream before. This is actually our third official live stream. We've done one for episodes 200, 300, and now 400. But we are going to react to a trailer live on this.
Yeah.
On this
Producer
one.
Ben, you've done some work behind the scenes. We're going to turn to the side and we're going to see the trailer.
I want you to turn to the side. Should we talk about it a little bit first? So this is a horror news bit. We've got a trailer, a little bit unexpected. A trailer for 28 Years Later, The Bone Temple. Your Bone Temple fear, whether it's been doubled.
Bone Temple anxiety has been quashed a little.
Quashed a little. Okay.
Love to use the word quashed.
Yeah.
We'll see how I feel about it in a minute, I guess.
Always nice to use the word quashed. So the official trailer for 28 Years Later, The Bone Temple, it arrived this morning. I think we got some screenshots, some images last night for this. And it released on January the 16th. So obviously, I guess what happened was they filmed the first one and this one together. They must have done that.
And this came out 28 weeks after.
Yeah, that's good, isn't it? That's
one, right?
good. I like that. That's the kind of... How do you describe it? Do you describe that as corporate synergy? I think you would.
Corporate synergies, yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, I like that. That's some good marketing. The titular Bone Temple is the primary location for this one. And there's a poster as well. It's got Ray Fiennes on it, screaming. He looks a little bit like he's in Mad Max Fury Road, right?
Looks like he's stepped on some Lego out in his camp.
Oh, bloody hell! Stepped on who left the Lego in the Bone Temple?
28 years after society has entirely collapsed, I've stepped on Lego in the middle of a field.
In the middle of a field, in the middle of the Bone Temple, which I bloody made. I mean, even from the trailer for the first film, we were a bit sceptical of the Bone Temple. We were like, hang on a minute, that looks kind of like something you get outside the range / home bargains for Halloween. On a bigger scale, of course, where they go, put this in your front garden and scare everybody off. Trick-or-treaters, etc.
But as it turned out from the film, it was a lovely thing.
But as it turned out from the film, it was a lovely thing. I mean, if you haven't seen the film, go and watch it, because the Bone Temple, Ray Fiennes' character, completely different, I think, to what was originally advertised. In a good way, you know.
I mean, whatever his name is, could have been Dr. Nice Bloke.
His name could have been Dr. Niceblook.
Yeah, Dr.
What
Niceman.
was his name? Dr. something. Dr. Iodine. That's not actually
Dr. Iodine. Immediately, I just went to the most obscure. It's like, Dr. Seward, but that is a racer from Nintendo 64 game F-Zero.
Oh.
He's not him.
That is a deep cut, isn't it? Would you like to prepare yourself this trailer?
Yes, I am prepared.
Whichever window you would like to see it on.
I am prepared to...
I'm going to change our screen. Right, this should be fun. I just realised during that whole thing, I could have switched over to just you on your own. There we go, just you on your own. So look at these new scenes we've got. Andy on his own, floating.
Don't get used to it.
Floating in a sea. Don't get used to it. Andy on his own, floating in a sea of green. Me floating in a sea of green. Very nice. It washes me out a little bit. I feel like the green. With you, Andy, you look very fresh and clean. And
I think you have a larger monitor maybe that's reflecting that green back on you, like an insult that you've said to Trisha Goddard. But no, for me, it's a smaller screen. It's the bright lights are on me.
So here we go. Let's get this to work. Let's switch on our screen. Okay. So let's introduce this like we would a usual.
Yeah, behind the scenes, everyone, for clippable content, Ben is going to do this as if it was a standalone episode, just in case in the future it is.
For the bloody clippable content, guys. We love a bit of clippable content. Welcome to Horror Hangout Reacts, where two fellas who love doing... Get your YouTube thumbnail face ready. Two fellas who love watching horror and stuff. We're going to react to a trailer. A trailer for 28 Years Later, The Bone Temple, which is the new film in this trilogy of 28 Years Later films. It's not directed by Danny Boyle, this one. Though, is it, Andy?
Nia DaCosta.
Nia DaCosta.
Some great movies under her belt already. I'm looking forward to seeing what she does with, I was about to say, big franchise. She's done big franchise. She did The Candyman most recently.
She did the bloody Candyman, which was good. I think she did The Marvels as well. So it was, again, an interesting thing for her to have, like, gone from like a horror movie, even if it was a remake or reboot, and then go into like a big Marvel film. It's a bit of a jump. So I guess coming back to horror, but big franchise horror.
Big franchise horror. I've not seen the Marvels yet, not because I'm one of those horrible misogynists you hear about on the internet. Just been busy. Exactly. Sean McKenna, we got another message. You know, we're making this a Sean McKenna show, but I'm really glad he's commenting. So thank you very much. His first ever Patreon. He said he's chuffed for us. Shout out to the other stories too. He's a fan of it all. Oh, he's a fan of it.
He's a fan of it all.
And I like Sean.
And he says, "When's the next quiz due?" I think that's
this Christmas.
This Christmas,
Sean. At the end of this year. If you ask Santa very nicely, that won't have an impact on whether I do a quiz or not. He's not part of the process, but I will do one.
If you stay tuned, there will be some sort of quizzing of sorts at the end of this episode. Not traditional.
Special little game for him.
Special little game, not traditional quizzing like we're used to.
You've got to keep it in your pants. So you've got a full year of quiz. I ain't going to burn 6 months of content on this.
On episode bloody 400, am I? I'm not going to bother.
Yeah.
So yeah, this one is coming out in January the 16th, 2026. As you said, Andy, 28 weeks after. No, weeks. 28 weeks.
Certainly not months or years or days.
Surely not months. What am I on about?
Could be fortnights, I guess, but I've not done the maths.
Passage of time confusing. The titular Bone Temple, I've already said this. So yeah, the world's created by Danny Boyle. It's written again by Alex Garland, but Nia DaCosta directs. A continuation of the epic story of Dr. Kelson finds himself in a shocking new relationship. He's got himself straight on Tinder, and he's gone, I fancy a new relationship in this apocalyptic world.
I bet it's that big penis madman, isn't it?
Big penis madman. I mean, there's not many compatible partners around. I wouldn't
Even
say.
some without the rage virus would be pretty raging. He did tax his baby and give it to a little boy.
Yeah. Exactly.
He basically was like that CEO snatching a hat off that kid.
Oh, bloody hell, Dr. Kelson, Dr. Ray Fiennes. Right, should we give this a go? Should we see if we can make this work?
Obviously, I'm going to turn my head. I'm going to look to the left.
I think is it your left? No, it's your right. It's your right.
Stage right, my left.
Stage right, your left. What?
Have a look stage right and enjoy
Stage
the temple
left.
for the bone. To the temple. To the bone temple. I can't see the stage, Ben. I'm guessing.
I'm sorry.
I'm going to look this way, right? This way. And I'm going to have a little watch of the bone temple. Count me down and
I
I'll
hope
press
this
go.
works. Yeah, we have to count down to make sure we're watching at the same time. Are you ready, Andy?
I'm ready, Ben.
Okay. 3, 2, 1, let's play.
Oh, both clouds are moving fast.
Predict the future. Is it discouraging?
A load of skulls, a load of birds. Oh.
In fact,
That's that train. There you go.
See, would you like another scene that is like before the outbreak?
Gives you a nice opening set piece, doesn't it?
It does give you a nice opening set piece.
So birds can't get rage virus, do they? They just hang about.
Yeah, because in the first film, obviously, some blood. Oh, actually,
many of the things we take for
there's a
granted
bird eating a body and the blood goes in his eye, so it's from a
will one
human.
day pass away completely.
What's he listening to on the old vinyl then? Oh.
So I told you this is a new relationship. It's that lad.
Men
It's
will
that
no
bloody
longer
lad.
communicate.
Samson. There he is.
Oh! Samson doesn't strike me as the kind of guy who you could just place a hand on and get away
He
with it.
gets him ketted up, doesn't he?
Is that Aaron Taylor Johnson or someone else then?
Barbarism.
Oh, I mean, that's got to be the Jimmy's, isn't it? There he is. Lovely conditioned hair. Wait, that's Spike in a wig!
Will cease to make any sense.
Oh, back to the big city. Oh, yeah, see, I'd like that. Back to the big city. That'd be good.
Incredible changes.
I don't think it is Aaron Taylor Johnson, that guy.
Do you reckon he's grown his hair out and bleached it, or just put a little Jimmy Savile wig on?
Could be either.
And yet even greater changes
Okay.
are still to come.
Oh.
Are you ready?
He's Scottish, this character, isn't he?
Yeah.
God, there's a lot of aura farming going on with some poses we're getting, isn't there?
Yeah.
January the 16th. In premium formats. Well.
There he is on the little thumbnail going,
Oh, bloody hope
hell.
so. Bloody hell, you never guess what. Okay. Initial thoughts.
There we go, then.
Initial thoughts. Bone Temple anxiety. Quelled or momentarily softened.
For now, it remains quashed. I think a little bit harsh. Those marketing folks want to have a little word. How often would you normally see the director listed bottom on that title card there? It was like Danny Boyle, Alex Garland, Nia DaCosta.
Yeah, that is kind of weird, isn't it?
Someone's agent didn't negotiate too hard, unless you want your name last. But
yeah, interesting. I mean, what does this spell for the franchise? Because obviously we had a different director for 28 weeks later, which I guess critically and amongst the fans isn't necessarily thought of as that kindly.
It's got the best character in it, though, hasn't it?
It's got the best character in it. Jeremy Renner's character, Soldier.
No, man.
Oh, man, yeah, famous man who gets killed by the helicopter.
Yeah, that's it. Man,
Yeah.
gets all mulched. Yeah, I'm looking forward to this. I think the writing is going to be a little bit more consistent. Only 28 weeks later, but maybe driven a little bit by the fact there was some rights issues of who owned it and who got to create it, so there wasn't the same cohesion. But we've got that continuity here. I'm excited to see old Ray Fiennes back again. I'm excited to see how this looks. If I was predicting, it looks like our lead from the first one has fallen in with the Jimmy gang, and maybe they're going to be they're going to try and influence him to be a bit of a wrong'un. I know that Danny Boyle has said that the theme of this one is to understand the nature of evil.
Yeah.
And then maybe he's going to be getting into it. You saw that bit where he did a big slash on someone's throat with a knife. Maybe he's getting into that kind of lifestyle, and then he'd be forced to sort of go against a character that he's got some fondness for out in the world.
If you were in the bloody Jimmy gang, would you go, do I have to wear this wig? Is this part of it? Because I feel like it hinders me in a way. Because I'd constantly be worrying about it falling off, you know what I mean?
Maybe it's I don't know.
Glued on.
Maybe. When did the world disintegrate in 28 days later originally?
What 2002? I guess, or maybe slightly more, maybe 2001 if we're taking into account.
Basically, Ben, I want to find out if Metal Gear Solid 2 Sons of Liberty was out by that time. Maybe they're big Raiden fans.
Yeah, maybe
all
they're
of them.
big Raiden fans. Yeah, that'd be good. And just the jewellery and the tracksuits are all just a lovely big coincidence, you know?
I keep telling you, Run DMC.
It's bloody Run DMC! He thinks you're French. It's really Run DMC, come on! Yeah, because I'm still... I haven't really softened on my stance on this, which is... These Jimmy fellers, all these Jimmy fellers, I found it
distracting.
I found it distracting. I found it silly. Look.
So how's your Bone Temple Anxiety? You never
well,
wonder
does this
about
trailer
mine.
Does this trailer look a little bit like? I mean, I'll tell you what I do like. I like the thought of going back into the big city because obviously a lot of this took place on an island and then in the wilderness and just in the bloody countryside. I like the thought about going back to the big city. What's the big city like? Is anyone there? How many infected are there? Have the infected all left the big city? Various questions. Are the pigeons all right?
There seem to be birds. At least the crows that we've seen have been absolutely fine.
Crows are absolutely loving life. They're absolutely enjoying themselves.
Suddenly it's as if it's the last.
There was
all night having a blast.
There was a moment where I thought it was Aaron Taylor-Johnson's character, just a bearded man with long hair. I think. In a similar coat, because at one point one of the infected grabs him by the beard. I don't think Aaron Taylor-Johnson's character is the type of guy who would allow himself to be grabbed by the beard.
No, I reckon he's a big arrows man, isn't he? So he's going to be keeping people at distance.
He's not near anyone, yeah. He's not.
Have we just seen Aaron Taylor-Johnson and Cillian Murphy just do a big Predator handshake at the end of this one for them to return in number 3?
That would be good, wouldn't it? Yeah, that's another thing. We don't see. There's not hide nor hair of Mr. Cillian Murphy, is there?
Isn't he in... It's reported that he is in this one at the end, he's mostly in this third one.
It's mad that that's reported, though, isn't it? That's weird. Do you not find that weird?
Give us a surprise for once in your lives.
I find that weird. I'm a bit like, what? Why is this being reported? What's happening? Oh, he's not in this one. He's in the third one. Well, give me a surprise.
Unless it's a lie to us. Yeah. To be honest, I want a surprise.
And it does look like
but not in a really obvious way. Not in a Christopher Waltz. Blofeld, who's that?
Who's Blofeld? It does look like the Jimmy gang get themselves to the Bone Temple, though. There's obviously something where they need to know where the Bone Temple is. Here, Spike. All right, mate? Do you know where the bloody Bone Temple is with Dr. Iodine, Dr. Kelson? No, don't know. We'll get out of you.
In a nice way. Put this wig on. You're part of the gang now.
In a nice way, but then they eventually do get there. Because there's a couple of shots of, Jimmy wandering around the Bone Temple, the Jimmy gang wandering around the Bone Temple, Dr. Kelson looking apprehensive, as you would with the Jimmys knocking about. You would. I would. I'd be terrified.
Would you just lie and say, oh, my name's also Jimmy, then you're in?
My name's also actually Jimmy. And then, of course, the Alpha. We get the Alpha. I'm assuming what from this trailer, what it looks like is that we're going to get a backstory for Dr. Kelson and maybe see what he's been up to for the last 28 years in some way. Maybe not the whole 28 years, but a bit of that time. In of which he's made friends with the Alpha, Samson. Do we think there's something else going on with Samson? Do we reckon Dr. Kelson somehow has urged Samson to go and procreate? Maybe he's done a sexy experiment.
I don't want to see the footage of that.
I don't want to see the footage of it. That's not what I'm saying. I'm just saying,
I don't even want the illusion of it.
I just want to know if that's happened or not. I want someone to tell me it's happened. Don't go.
He's gonna ketamine him up and then make him watch some sex education videos, and then proper wheels out the telly on the trolley.
Yeah.
Puts the Betamax tape in, clunks it down. He goes, "Yeah, watch this."
Come on, mate. Get your eyes on this. The Jimmy gang.
I see the poster of Samson as well. He's got some pants on though. It's probably for commercial reasons rather than in the film. He's got some pants.
Samson's got some pants on.
Yeah.
There's a bit where the Jimmy gang are looks like they've got a load of people tied up and they're getting ready to torture them, and they're all sat there, and it looks like they've all got different weird masks on. Masks that look like they might be made of I don't know, a pair of football shorts or something like that, a pair of football boots. No.
Football boot. All his favourite teams.
Yeah, all his favourite teams.
But basically, because society's collapsed and he's lost his memory of all the things, they all like Pro Evolution soccer teams now. I love Manchester Red.
Manchester Red, Manchester Blue.
I like Birmingham Villains.
I like the bloody Birmingham Villains. I like to go to Brick Trafford, what it was called. But you know, the Jimmies, they look a certain way anyway. Why do you need to hide your face? Why do you need to hide your face? Unless it's like guilt.
You're going to be on Crime Watch, Jimmy.
Yeah.
Come on.
Who's done the crime? Someone who looks like Jimmy Savile. Sounds about right. Sounds about right.
Because society collapsed, they'll be like, what? That famous charity worker? Perish the thought.
Perish the bloody thought. But yeah, you know what? Obviously, I'm looking forward to this because, yeah, there was a bit with bloody Ray Fiennes going, he's in the Bone Temple and he's lit a load of fire and he's doing a big scream. He just looks like he's either having a great time or a terrible time. One or the other.
Could be like the Predator though. Could be preparing for the final battle.
He's going like this,
getting covered in mud.
I've got the screenshot up, so if I do it right, he's doing this. He's doing like a big.
He's channeling his full Voldemort face that he used to do.
He is. He looks
but
like
with added nose.
Yeah, he looks like he's put deep heat on and he's put it in some sensitive areas. But yeah, the bloody Bone Temple. I'm glad your Bone Temple anxiety has been somewhat alleviated. I think mine's still there, but maybe mine wasn't as present as yours was in the first place. You know?
Yeah, in the run up to 28 years later coming out, my Bone Temple anxiety was absolutely off chops, mate. It was getting pretty high because I was like, a follow up immediately, immediately or like announced, and it's got a colon word afterwards. I mean, as long as it's not Rising or Revolution or Begins or Origins, then that's okay.
Or Revenge, yeah. I suppose we're good. But I guess the reason being because it was released so quickly is because they filmed these very closely and they want to kind of like strike while the iron is hot. Because obviously the time between... Was the last one come out in 2007? 28 weeks? So, you know, that's a long time.
Yeah, 28 weeks. Annoyingly, at this point, was not quite 28 years ago. It's like 23.
That's very annoying, isn't it? But what's that?
So if you've waited that long, I'm glad we've got what we've got. But, you know, I'll take a slight loss of symmetry, I guess.
Yeah. There we go, then. We did it. We watched that. Hopefully that worked. I'm hoping it did. If it didn't work, then... who knows?
Just imagine that we watched it, I guess.
If it didn't,
this out when we do the recording.
If it didn't work, just imagine that we watched it, which is good. I do have some other horror news there. You might have something.
Do you want to say goodbye to the clippable version first, and then we'll talk some more horror news? And I've got a bit too.
We should say goodbye to the clippable version. Thanks for watching that. Thanks for watching us react to that trailer. Tell us what you think about the Bone Temple. Are you excited for it? Are you worried?
What's your level of Bone Temple anxiety out of 10? 10 being the most, really worried. 1 being feeling fine.
Feeling fine. I'm just feeling fine. I'm absolutely feeling fine. Yeah. So there we go. Horror news. You said you had something.
I've got a couple of little bits. So do you want to go first? Do we want to round robin this? I've got a couple.
Let's round robin it. Let's get it well and truly round robined.
Okay, what have you got in your news then, Ben? In your news bag?
In my news bag. So after we watched the 4K restoration of The Descent at FrightFest, which was fun, of course. We enjoyed that. We liked watching the film. We liked watching the Cave Lads. Back at it again, the old Cave Lads. I'll tell you what, before we go into this bit of horror news, got a couple more comments. I couldn't look at the comments because...
you were looking at the Bone Temple.
I was looking at the Bone Temple, but we've got a couple more comments. So we've got, first of all, Stephen Jimenez. We know who Stephen Jimenez is.
Hey, Stephen.
Hey, Stephen. Of course, thank you so much for all your continued support throughout the years. Always sharing our content as well, which is great. And I'm glad you're still with us. He says, "Hey boys, happy 400. Quick name game." Oh, there we go. He's thrown a bloody live name game at us.
I'm getting my pen out. I'm ready.
I respect you, Stephen, for this. Quick name game. An alpha zombie is thrown into a vat of waste only to return and seek vengeance on Jimmy. Oh. An alpha zombie is thrown into a vat of waste only to return and seek vengeance on Jimmy. So I'm either thinking.
What you doing? What film are you basing this on?
Yeah, I mean it's got to be 28 years later. The Bone Temple. When you say Vat of Waste, I'm thinking Joker falling into that and getting vengeance.
I was thinking of Toxic Avenger.
Oh my god, yeah, that makes much more sense, doesn't it?
Look at us doing it as a
zombie,
team.
The Toxic Avenger. Yeah, I see what you mean now. Oh, now I'm confused. An alpha zombie is thrown into a vat of waste, only to return and seek vengeance on Jimmy, the Toxic Revenger. Is it the Toxic Avenger or is it the Bone Temple that we're trying to give?
Yeah.
Oh my god. Now I'm thinking Roger Rabbit now as well.
I'm gonna be puzzling on this for a while. I mean, it's gonna come to me, Ben, when I'm least thinking of it.
Not just that. We've also got Liam Edmonds has also commented on YouTube.
Hello,
so,
Liam.
Liam says, "Big fan, guys. The Anaconda episode is a classic." You know what?
Are you gonna do, as Liam has commented, are you gonna do your Paul Saban impression?
I'm glad you remembered his name. Mateo! Hey, Mateo! Someone's eating a... Yeah, and then you've got to glare at J-Lo like you've...
Yeah, like imagine that me on your screen right now, Ben, is... I'm J-Lo and I'm just changing my tank top.
Okay. Change your tank top.
Disgusting. You've got his horrible, leery old man face down perfectly.
It's like I'm horny, but, you know...
It makes you disgusted.
Makes me
it's hot.
disgusted. But following up from the name game, he says... So Liam also says, who gave Samson a loincloth? I think they've done like the Hulk thing there, haven't they? Where they've gone, the Hulk's transformed, but he can't be wearing a bloody...
Someone's dropped into the DMs. Biofit boxers have given him a sponsorship. And he's covered up that junk. Because I tell you what, I don't know if you ever tried to wander about the British countryside, Ben, naked at all. Have you ever tried?
No.
You know what it's absolutely rife with?
Go on.
Stingers.
Stingers, yeah. Stingers on the old nutsack.
In a world where who's been National Trust ain't about anymore in 28 years later.
Yeah.
World, mate. No one's going around them with a strimmer.
No.
You wouldn't be able to walk 5 metres in the UK without being stingered.
No.
No wonder his junk's so big. Probably swole from all those stingers he's taken to it.
Oh, that's what happened. That's explained. Liam Edmonds is also saying do the Voight wink. Okay, so... Oh, yeah, he does the wink when he, gets regurgitated, doesn't he?
Oh, yeah, so pretend you've just been sicked out of a snake.
No, what's he do? He's not quite as creepy then. He's a bit cheeky that time, isn't he? He's all bloated and wet, and he goes...
Like he just got to the Winchester for a pint.
Goes to the Winchester for a pint. He definitely put his neck out when he did it. I almost did. We got to go back to this name game. Toxic Avenger is what Liam Edmonds says.
Toxic.
Well, that's what Liam Edmonds says. Stephen Jimenez says it's not safe for work. Yep. And then what's Samson's biggest asset? And then
the Toxic Avenger, of course.
There we go.
Of course.
I mean, it's got to be that, hasn't it? The Toxic Avenger. Well, that sounds like his lower back, but probably not.
his defunct tailbone.
His defunct tailbone. I wonder how much more knob we're going to see in 20 years. We're going to ask the cutting questions. We're going to ask the big questions now. How much more knob are we going to see in the Bone Temple? I asked that question because we saw a lot of knob in 20 years later. Way more than expected. Way more. Are they going to continue down this path, or are they going to go, you know what? Nia DaCosta's thinking, I'm looking at this through an artistic lens. The knob is off-putting. Let's now cover him up with a loincloth.
Thing is, when Edinburgh Fringe rolls around, or when a big show comes at the West End, people to show their acting chops will flop the old chop out, won't they?
They'll flop the old chop out.
If the 80s probably means there is probably still a massive imbalance towards female full frontal nudity on there. So basically, Nia DaCosta could have Samson's absolute swinging dong on every single frame of that movie, and she would still be quids in, I think.
Exactly, quids in. I just want to respond to a TikTok comment from Gore Guy who says, is this pre-recorded? We are currently live. We're live on not just YouTube, but also TikTok. This isn't something we do every episode.
Yeah, Gore Guy. Usually we are pre-recorded because, sometimes Ben will say something libelous, but But today, as it's a special occasion, we're live.
We're live. It's a special occasion. Who knows? Maybe we'll do something like this again in the future, more than once. I don't know. I feel like we're cranking out all the content. It's so difficult to commit to like new things, isn't it? And by cranking out all the content, I mean we're cranking out all the good content. It's not.
I mean, I say live is tricky. It's tricky for you. You're trying to produce all these things. I just turn up and talk all the same.
It seems. Do you know what? So far, it seems pretty easy. I'm enjoying it. I'm enjoying having live comments. That's fun. Stephen says, there it is. You earn one John Voight wink. So I guess you earn it because you got it right, Andy. So I've one John Voight wink for you, and I'll give you a
catch it.
I'll give you a glare as well. Just one glare.
Perfect. What we're going to do, Ben? We're going to GIF these, and then you'll be able to use them as reactions.
GIF. What's his name again? Paul
Sobon, I think his name is.
Yeah, he's Paraguayan. That's what I remember. He's Paraguayan. He's got a lovely, greasy ponytail. And we can make fun of John Voight as much as we want because in real life,
bad bloke.
So, yeah. So just saying that again. We're not pre-recorded. I'm answering that again because it's been asked again. I think because I'm filming the screen, it looks like this is a video, but we are live. The only other way we could have done it live on TikTok would have been if it was just me, and that's a bit boring because it sounds like I'm talking to myself. But also, Andy's hairline's looking great today, so
yeah,
we got it.
In the rain as well. I pulled this up.
Maybe that's it. Maybe the rain has given you some natural,
little bit of extra volume,
a little bit of extra oomph. Right, we were talking about horror news. The Descent prequel.
Yeah,
Neil
you tell me
Marshall
about the prequel news.
Floats the idea of returning to monster-infested caves. I say absolutely. For God's sake, let's do it. Now,
Cave Lads Origins?
The Cave Lads Origins. Now, obviously, last month, when we saw The Descent 4K restoration at FrightFest, Odeon Leicester Square, our good friend and good friend of the show, of course, Janine Pipe, she released the book that she wrote with Neil Marshall, The Making of the Descent, a hardback book. She was signing copies. That's why we barely spoke to her, because friend of the show, we usually try and get a good chinwag in. She was in demand.
She was at that table signing a little hand off like O.J. Simpson when he was trying to pay for his court case, but in a positive way. That her career is successful, not that she's trying to fund a murder trial.
After watching the... Sorry, Andy, I didn't mean to cut you off there, but after watching The Descent, it made me go, this is such a great world. It's so simple as well, you know. It's just the fact that so many different stories are told in that film. That's what was kind of making me think it's masterful. All of those characters, there's tensions between them. There's histories between them. There's established relationships that maybe we don't know all that much about. And once they go into the caves, when we start to find out more about those relationships. And also, I love a kind of, obviously we got like a final girl situation, but I love when somebody who maybe you didn't think is, or not that you didn't think they could hold their own, but you didn't know how they were going to hold their own, turn into like a badass. Not in the sense of Alice from Resident Evil movies, superhuman, Neo. I just mean resourceful. And there's a lot.
She internalizes all that dead husband energy.
She internalizes all that dead husband energy. Another character internalizes their dead husband energy. Don't want to spoil anything.
It's a, as you know, 25-year-old film, so you're right.
It's a 25-year-old film, but yeah. So 4K restoration. Are we getting a 4K release of this? I think
we are going to get a physical release is coming. I shall certainly be topping up on that one.
Yeah.
I'm a little bit gutted, Ben. I didn't actually manage to pick up. James very kindly shared a digital version with us, but I really want to get myself a physical copy of the book as well.
It was just, we were on it with the FrightFest stuff. We barely had time.
I packed light, I wouldn't have had a room.
Barely had any time to take on any sustenance, let alone take on a lovely hard copy of a coffee table book. I need it though, you know? It's one of those things I need. You look at it, you go, I need that. Well, why? What's it going to do for you? It'll do more.
Make me happier, all right?
It'll make me happier.
In this world, just the slightest thing to make me a little bit happier for just a second, a fleeting glimpse of feeling alive. Thanks, I will buy that book.
Sounds great. Obviously, we had The Descent Part 2 in 2009. It was kind of like more of the same, though, wasn't it? That was almost like, okay, let's take the formula of that and just do the same. And I think people didn't necessarily like it so much because we didn't have these established characters. It was kind of like going down to find survivors, wasn't it?
I don't. I think I said this last time. I don't think I've seen it. I'm gonna have to watch it. To not enjoy it as much.
It's not terrible. I will say it's not terrible. So Marshall says the trend seems to be prequels. I'm always interested in finding out what happened to the miners who went down to the cave first. So obviously there's some cave equipment that is like 100 years old. They say in the original 100 years old.
So you get some proper pastos going down there then.
You get some proper pastos. Do you know what? Do I want that? I mean, yeah, that could be cool, but I think something a little bit more. I don't know. Who knows?
What was the coal mining film we saw at FrightFest Glasgow a couple of years ago, which I really liked and therefore should remember the title of, but it was great.
Yeah, I know exactly what you mean, but don't remember either.
A very sweaty film. I'm going to find it while you're talking. I'm going to find it. Everyone was hot and sweaty. Mines are horrible. Yeah, I really liked that film.
Really liked it. Yeah, it was good. It was good times. So I'm well up for more of The Descent. Neil Marshall, please make that. Get Janine on board in some way. You know, we want Janine as what? What do we want Janine as? Co-writer / assistant director. Yeah, look at that.
Or Neil, if you're busy, obviously you're welcome back to your own project. If you're busy. But if you've got a lot on, Janine knows it better than anyone.
Janine will direct it. Me and Andy be there as cave lads.
Play a cave lad.
I'll play a cave lad.
Cover yourself in Vaseline.
I forgot.
In a cave.
I forgot in The Descent. There's a mummy cave person, and a baby one.
Yeah, that home wrecker goes and kills them. No, it isn't. It's the goodie that kills them.
The goodie just kills the baby, and I go, you know what? I'm sticking. We keep saying this. We're going to stick by
Indigenous people in their own environment. You come in and get them.
Come in and get them. Exactly. Yeah. Okay, we're round robining, so let's go back to you for some more.
I've got one, a short film that is coming up. One that you didn't see at FrightFest, Ben, because it wasn't on there. But a friend of the show, want to give him a little shout out. Rich Rose, who we saw very, very briefly at FrightFest. He came and saw us. We were going to have a coffee, but we were running along with some interviews, so we just had to love him and leave him.
I'd like to send my apologies to Rich Rose, because I think when I did see him, I was at my wit's end. I'd reached the point of the day where I was exhausted. I could barely stand, let alone, you know, we were just before our last interview of the festival, wasn't it?
Yeah, just for our last interview. We still had the wrap up to do. You were exhausted from a long blink you had in the movie we watched beforehand. It was harsh times for Ben. He couldn't even blink. He had to sort of wave weekly, like he was Grandpa Joe stuck in his bed 25 years. Exactly. I got up and gave him a big hug because I'd heard in their own podcast, My Partner Has No Taste, that he gets social anxiety from big manly handshakes, so he's a big hugger. So I got up and gave him a lovely hug, said hello to him, and he went on and watched Bamboo Revenge for us.
Yeah, he did.
But he also has a new short film out. So we first met Rich following seeing his short film at FrightFest last year, It's Really You.
Of course, yeah.
His new one, Her Love, is completed now. It stars both
Mm.
his wife Carly and his in-laws in leading roles.
Yeah, he did say about this, didn't he? He did say
it wasn't on the FrightFest. Yeah, so they were casting it. He told us when we were doing that Elm Street 4 together.
That's
a
right,
really fun episode. That it wasn't on at FrightFest, but it is going to be on at Big Fridge Film Festival and Spooky Empire in Florida in the coming weeks as well. So if you're attending any of those festivals, check it out there. If you are an online reviewer, if you're checking these things out whenever you can, keep a lookout for it. I like Rich's stuff. It really links horror and comedy. And he's one of our friends, so not just nepotism, a little dash of that with people we like, but also, he makes good horror comedy movies. Go and check that out.
Oh, yeah. We got another comment from Stephen. I've never seen it either, but I've been hearing so much about it lately. I'm assuming you're talking about The Descent. We did have a few people before the screening and afterwards who said they hadn't seen it before or it was their first time. Didn't we have Tabitha?
Tabitha was one of our first-time attendees who was a guest.
Yeah.
It was her first watching it, and she was
The Descent.
effusive.
I'll tell you what. If you like... So, when I try and sell The Descent to people, is I go, have you seen Dog Soldiers? Do you like Dog Soldiers? Do you like this kind of like British set, British cast? I know it's supposed to be in America, isn't it, The Descent? But it feels very British. If we said this was in like Scotland, if caves like this exist in Scotland, then I
probably do.
I believe they probably do. Yeah, it's got that kind of like blue, gritty, post-apocalyptic wash over it, cinematography-wise. Even though it's not post-apocalyptic, it's got that kind of like desolate. Like, you're only a stone's throw away from the most unspeakable horrors. Like, these are human characters, and they're complex, and they've got great relationships, and, you know, I'm talking about dog soldiers as well. And then, but it's only a mere second away from unspeakable horrors, and that's kind of like the tension that you get from the very opening, that the soundtrack, the title, the kind of like the landscape as you kind of like pan over it.
For me, capable, complex characters, female-led, which takes a little bit of the. I don't think the film doesn't work the same if it's loads of macho fellas down there, and it's, you know, almost a polar opposite, a pairing to dog soldiers, which are primarily male soldiers that are in there. These are adventurous people. They're capable. They all have different skill sets. Great creature effects, some good tension.
Great creature effects, yeah.
And what I also love in this film is light as a resource, as a finite resource that you're having to get yourself through, because otherwise it is pitch black in there, which its namesake. I think this also pairs very well with pitch black, except there's not a big old Vin Diesel there to help you out.
I also like that, you know, when it is dark, you don't just see everything in night vision. You kind of like, when things are in night vision, it's because they're making use of the resources for it to be in night vision. And you know what? There's a name drop for Tomb Raider in this film, and I feel like it's on a par with that. You know, where like, again, it doesn't really affect me because I'm not of this thinking. But you know how some people can be like, action film, load of ladies. Oh, come on, do me a favour. They ain't gonna survive that. Whereas I think with Tomb Raider, you're just, because I've grown up like playing Tomb Raider, you're like, I'm more comfortable in knowing that this is a very capable character who's going to rely on a lot more than just brute strength to get through this particular thing.
I mean, adjacent news, Ben, I think it's fairly well official as of this afternoon that Sophie Turner is Lara Croft Tomb Raider in a Netflix Phoebe Waller-Bridge written Tomb Raider series. How are you feeling about that?
I mean, yeah, sounds great. I'm up for any form of Tomb Raider content. It's one of those franchises, games, and whatever else that I'll just whatever it is that's new, I'll have it. But yeah, I think if you're a fan of particularly like the 2013 game, where you've got like a character who's like not used to committing mass murder, committing her first kill and kind of like that.
And within 5 minutes has killed about 50 dudes, literally hacking their heads off with a climbing axe.
But you know what I mean? Just like relying on that established survival instinct and almost in order to survive, and it feels it's terrifying, and I feel like that's what The Descent does so well. It is essentially, I would say, a Tomb Raider horror movie.
I'm going to put some commentary on the casting as well. I think Sophie Turner is a great choice. You've seen, I think she's posted some pictures. She's got herself into incredible shape. She looks like she is well up for an action role. I think she's a good actor. I think any naysaying that might exist might be because people remember her being Sansa Stark, who is a very, very different character who she played a decade ago when she was much younger. She's done some really great dramatic roles ever since. She's clearly put in a ton of training for it. I think she'll be great. My only Bone Temple level anxiety about the Tomb Raider series is that it's Netflix and they'll cancel it before it gets a chance to find an audience if it's not the biggest thing on the first day it comes out.
That would be frustrating, wouldn't it? Liam on the comments says, and again, The Descent, saw it when released. I'm not claustrophobic, but the scene where Sarah gets stuck had me hyperventilating. I feel like after reading a lot of horror stories about people getting stuck in the most tiny crevices, like head first, legs poking out, oh, that's it, they're dead. They couldn't get out. Reading stories like that, my claustrophobia has been off the charts recently. So watching The Descent, again, I can't remember if I saw it in cinemas, so it might have been my first time, but watching The Descent again after a little while did get my claustrophobia going. It's just that, there's
a claustrophobic story. You've written an excellent episode of The Witching Hour over on the other stories as well, Ben, about someone being crushed in a cave.
Someone being crushed in what would we say? Supernatural
supernaturally
cave.
charged.
Supernaturally charged cave. Yeah, and I guess that it kind of that leans into my fears of like claustrophobia, but also like fear of the unknown as well.
Yeah.
But yeah.
Yeah, and just to like line up on your claustrophobia, if you want another obscure reference for some claustrophobia, I invite you to get on YouTube and watch an episode of real life British horror stories 999 with Michael Buck. There's a story about a young boy, a family on a walk around Cannock Chase, and this little boy just takes the wrong step of the path, falls into a chasm where he gets stuck. Don't worry, everybody. Ultimately, spoilers for an old episode of 999. He is fine, but it's worth watching. One, for the trauma and the brave rescue.
Yeah.
But I think he's a fireman or an ambulance driver. So for the rescuer that eventually gets him out of this cave, they're basically having to pull this little boy his head is stuck between some rocks to pull him out of this chasm before it goes. And his description of it is just the most ridiculous. And then after all this, he popped out. Sweet as a pie.
He's there, everybody! I'm guessing this was hours later, though, yeah?
Yeah, like half a day having his head stuck. But he is fine, so you can laugh about it now. But the guy just describing it in a really wicked black country accent, sweet as a pie.
I like the thought of The Descent being... Now, I'm not pitching anything here, but I'd like a prequel. I'd like to see something like that. I'd also like to see a film that looks like some sort of cave film, or maybe like something where someone or something's gone missing and maybe it's a mystery and they're trying to find out who it is, but with the cave lands at its heart, and maybe it's a surprise. I know we'll never get this, Andy, because this isn't the way the world works, but imagine it was a surprise. You go into a film thinking it's a new film, someone's gone missing, someone's lost in the cave.
Episode of 999.
Yeah, and then it ends up being a Descent prequel. That would be top notch. I'd love that. But yeah.
To answer your question, Ben, I'm not sure if it was always called this, but the good folks at the internet say that there is a Spanish horror film called Beneath, which is a coal mining horror film where the characters encounter supernatural entities. They're trapped underground after a collapse.
What was that film, Andy?
I think it was at
FrightFest Glasgow, right?
According to this, Beneath, but that might be an anglicised title. I don't remember it being called that.
I mean, it wasn't English language. I remember that.
Yeah, it was Spanish, I think.
It was Spanish, so maybe it was called The Deep Dark.
The Deep Dark.
That's it, isn't it? I don't know what I searched differently to you, but I found it now. The Deep Dark, which was French. You love that. That's right in your wheelhouse.
Yeah, right in the radar.
And I'm pretty. I can't remember now, but was it main FrightFest or was it? Oh, it was 8th of March, so was it FrightFest Glasgow? Yeah, that was good. If you like The Descent, The Deep Dark is also good. The
Deep Dark was great.
Yeah, it was good times. Okay, we got a trailer and a poster for Marvel Zombies, the animated version. Obviously, we had some stuff in What If, I think. I think there was some horror adjacent things happening. I think there was one off episode that was a bit like Marvel Zombies, right? But now,
yeah, in the first series, but there's been another 2 since then. But the minute you blink and you miss a season and a half or something coming out,
all of it. But Marvel Zombies is his own 4-episode series, premiering September 24th, 2025. Did you read many of the comics of this? Any comic
I've
ones?
read the first 2 anthologies and Marvel Zombies vs. Army of Darkness.
Oh, well, the latter. Now you say that, did I even know that exists? Is that good?
Yeah, it's good.
Yeah,
it's good. It's fine. I think it quickly becomes quite formulaic, but it's a lot of fun. There's a little other world story.
I recognise the cover now. I'm looking at it. Oh yeah, because it's like a spoof of the what X-Men cover is it? Where they've got like Slain and sort of...
They do a lot of they do the Days of Future Past cover, which is and they do the Spider-Man intro cover. They've basically done a lot of iconic covers for the Marvel Zombies series. I'm looking forward to this. I know Blade is getting a lot of heat from the trailer that came out this week. A lot of people really excited by Blade's appearance in it.
Yeah.
But it is also notable that Mahershala Ali, who was down to play Blade, is not voicing him for this one. So there's talk about whether that is the end of that character. Wesley Snipes does say that only he can ever play Blade.
And there we go. And he won't even open his eyes if you tell him to.
Blade won't open his eyes, puts out a post-it note. On the comics, I will just say, as much as we're talking Marvel Zombies here, if you want for my money, a more interesting take on an undead story from comics, despite the fact it came out more than a decade later, the DC and Justice League stuff probably outdid it. Deceased was really, really good.
Yeah,
it's a really, really good series.
I've seen a lot about that. I don't think I've
It's not a zombie virus like that. It is Darkseid releases the anti-life equation, and basically, if you hear it through technology, or you get infected by a bite, as in traditional zombie methods, then you basically get the equivalent of the rage virus, and go on a big rampage. So they aren't like, they've still got all their powers and stuff. It's incredible. It's really, really good. There's a load of really good spin-offs. They not only did that as a main series, but then they do a follow-up where they return to Earth afterwards to do a thing, and then they do like a redemption arc. Really good. It is, at this point, 3 limited series plus a couple of spin-offs, probably about 4 or 5 trade paperbacks you could pick up as a result. All really, really strong stuff. I was really hesitant to start it, but it was one of those that once I started it, I was hammering through those pages, and it feels like it has stakes because it is following on with the world, whereas the Marvel Zombie stuff eventually feels a bit like vignette-y, maybe.
Yeah, I see what you mean. And in it, I don't know, usually in Marvel Zombies you go, oh my god, this character is a zombie, and then before you know it, they're dead.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
The coolest thing I think they ever did with Marvel Zombies is they stirred the Marvel Zombies world into Ultimate Fantastic Four, and the Marvel Zombies were the Frightful Four, like from another dimension, and they were trying to get across into the main world.
I need to catch up. I honestly think I've only seen... I've probably read a couple of trade paperbacks, but not anything more than that.
Yeah, but again, it's none of it is, I would say, absolutely essential. It's always done as like a side thing.
Okay. Any more news from you?
It kind of fits into the what we've been watching, because I've got some news of some upcoming releases that we've been lucky enough to see, so we'll hybrid that if you want to go into the next section.
Yeah. I mean, we can go into what we've been watching, I guess, because most of what I've been watching is new releases.
Ben, before we say that, something I've not been watching this week, but you shared an important bit of news with me. You got Pluto TV, have you?
Oh, yeah, looks like it.
Because if you have got that free channel, certainly in the UK, Pluto TV, you know what you can now enjoy there.
Go on.
Friday the 13th, the series.
Friday the 13th, the series is available.
So you can get watching it. I've had a few weeks off while we've been busy with FrightFest stuff, but I will be back to it very soon, continuing my Season 2 journey. But now, even if you don't want to go on YouTube or to get yourself some physical media, you can join me in this journey. Find Pluto TV. I think it's just an app you can get on your telly box, right?
It's just an app, yeah. You can get it on your telly box. I think there's an app on there. I'm just checking a second.
Yeah, you can get an app on your TV. You can get and watch it. Therefore, I imagine you can watch it online as well, and watch my most beloved of television series. Better than the X-Files. Get stuck in.
Better than the bloody X-Files. So I guess in terms of what we've been watching, I've only seen a couple of things, and that is just to catch up with. So we've got a couple of things that I missed at FrightFest. I've seen Kombucha. I wouldn't say much about that, only because you've got a review coming up, an interview. Sorry, with Jake Myers, the director.
Yeah, interview coming up, and not to spoil anything, Ben, I think it's probably going to get a mention in my FrightFest Awards.
In your FrightFest Awards, there we go. I will say I liked it. I enjoyed this. I thought this was great. It really captures the corporate world, and all those buzzwords that people say. We're a bloody family. We're a family. Drink the kombucha, which is good. I think the central performance is great, and it gets nice and gooey and creepy towards the end, right?
Yeah, kombucha is naturally quite creepy. You hear in my discussion with Jake talk about like you are now getting like a bodega of terror. All these products you can buy between this kombucha and the stuff.
I didn't even really know what kombucha was, I guess. Is kombucha really that? Like a weird sort of bacterial...
It's like fermented bacterial drink, yeah.
How's that happened? I mean, we say that a lot.
Good for you. Yeah.
The first person who drank a bit of milk had to tug on another in order to get it out. We know that the human race is capable of going to great and creepy and disgusting lengths to get.
At least with that, like theoretically, they could have seen a baby cow drinking it and gone, "Oh,
yeah,
that's nice. How did they work this out?"
I've never thought of that before, Andy. You've completely undone all of the people who go, "Someone drank milk for the first time, dirty pervert." So then off the back of that, we got a couple of new releases that we've seen and that we're going to put out some mini reviews of this week. But let's just briefly talk about them. So Borderline is the movie starring Samara Weaving and also Jack Nicholson's son, whose name is Ray Nicholson.
Ray Nicholson, who I genuinely mistook for...
You thought it was bloody Wyatt Russell?
Yeah, I did. They've got the same face.
Obviously, he was in Smile 2, doing a smile. He's great in this. He is awesome.
They absolutely wasted him just getting him to do a smile.
They really did.
In Smile 2, he's really good.
And I was genuinely thinking, oh, he's rubbish then. If he's just doing a smile in Smile 2...
He can look like his dad. And
he can look like his dad, and that's it.
I don't know why they didn't use him. He's really good.
He's really good. He's funny. He's... and what I liked about this was it was set up to be kind of like this, this guy's a bit of a madman. He's escaped a mental hospital. He thinks he's in love with a pop star. He's going to take her captive or whatever. I loved the supporting characters. I loved the fact that he had these sidekicks who were kind of helping him as well. It was genuinely funny. I was laugh out loud at loads of moments.
There's a musical bit that I loved.
There's a musical bit.
So good.
I said this to you, Andy. There's a musical bit in this film which started, not an actual argument, but like a mild disagreement between me and my wife, where we were trying to say who released that song first. Turns out she was correct, but the person who wrote it was also attributed to the person I thought it was. So I wouldn't spoil it, but I will say that moment is great. There's a supporting character, a young French woman, whose name is, let me try and work out.
I've just got it up. She's played by Alba Baptista.
Alba Baptista, who's Portuguese, I believe, but she's playing a French character. She is so good. I would watch a film of her doing the stuff she does in this film. I'd watch a film, I'd watch a series, I'd watch anything. I feel like the final act, it maybe loses me a bit. I think it's got it right for 2/3 of the film, and then the final act I don't feel like it knows what to do, so it kind of just it flips it a bit, and I'm a bit I don't know, and I feel like it gets to a point where the stakes kind of just dissipate, don't they? It's a bit wow.
Yeah.
But
overall, it's a comedy. When comedies, even at their funniest, they can struggle to maintain for an entire length sometimes. The best comedies sometimes lose it at the end of a feature. But I really liked Borderline. I thought it was really fun.
Borderline was great, yeah. So I'll be putting out, even though I said quite a lot about it, I'll be putting out a small review on our social media very soon. And then also, but with that in mind, our first tiny review, micro review for socials, is about a film called Row. I guess, Andy, you want to talk about it briefly, but not too much because you've already given a nice review.
I've given a review. I really liked it. My headlines would be, if you really like The Hole, but the guy in it's problematic and you don't like him now, you've got Row. Now, it's about a group of people who are attempting a transatlantic crossing in a rowboat, as the name would suggest. Something's gone wrong. One person has survived, and it's about investigators picking through her fractured memories and understanding what has happened. It's at UK cinemas this Friday, so the 5th. I liked it a lot. I know you were really put on edge by it, right, Ben? You felt like you were rowing across the Atlantic. Yeah. I thought it was a lot of fun. It's harsh times.
Maybe I wasn't in the right frame of mind because I did feel like it was a bit of a slog, and I felt like, oh god.
And that's what I liked. It's very tense, I was like, isn't it?
Is that how much room they got to live in? Just a tiny little coffin shape.
There's a bit early on, which is not any type of spoiler, where there's one person who's really driven to get them across, and when the guys go in to make some hot drinks, they're like, where's the water heater? And the guy shouts through I took it out. Every bit of weight slows us down.
I slung it out. I was absolutely up in arms.
I'd have just rolled off into the sea and died.
Oh,
You're going to get me to row across the Atlantic and I can't even have a cup of tea. I'd kill you and then myself.
I can't have a cup of tea and all my food's got to be cold. That's right. Kill them first and then yourself.
Yeah.
They deserve it.
I would justify anything else horrible that happened in that film.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
But yeah, keep an eye out for those reviews. Obviously, Row is out on the 5th of September in cinemas. Borderline is out on the 9th of September, I think, in digital platforms.
Yeah, and we've got one more as well, which I'm going to touch on very briefly, but I'm going to record something on the next couple of days. Somnium is another film which has already had a UK limited release in some cinemas on the 28th of August. Is going to be out on streaming platforms on the 9th.
This wasn't at FrightFest, was it?
Have you... certainly not the last couple of years.
Parasomnia,
have you seen,
I think, is what's confusing me.
Yes, it is. Parasomnia, but this is not that. This is Somnium. Have you seen Come True from a few years ago?
I haven't
it's on
actually
Shudder,
seen
I believe.
Come True. Same director?
Not the same director, but a similar but different theming. It's about a sleep clinic, but one where an aspiring actress gets a job overnight working at a sleep clinic. She can get paid and she can still go to auditions. All she has to do is keep an eye on people as they sleep in this special sleep clinic where people use machines to kind of help give people sort of kneeling, sort of was it like NLP, like programming to like work through and try and help them realize their dreams. But it's doing some strange things to some strange people, and there are some...
It's messing with their minds, man!
Yeah. It's like a real psychedelic moment. There's some confusion. There's like a twisting narrative. Proper review coming soon. But again, there's some interesting stuff going on in this one. Yeah. Kind of like Pearl, but with horrible machines that mess with your dreams.
I like it. Talking of Pearl, though, there was also there was a moment in Borderline that was very Pearl-esque, I think. It was over the end credits, but that's all I'll say. I'll say definitely check that out. Okay, so that's it for what we've been watching. We're going to move on to something we like to do every bloody year, don't we? We like to do this every bloody year, which is talk about our FrightFest Awards.
The FrightFest Awards. Have you got a scene change for us on this, Ben?
Yes. I have changed scenes. I honestly keep forgetting to change to individual scenes. I'm going to give you a moment on your own for a second.
Okay.
Looking great. Looking angelic.
Thanks.
It's
very strange. This headphones do weird things to my hair. It looks much nicer when I haven't got a big pair of Mickey Mouse ears on. But
how are you feeling about FrightFest Awards? Are you excited to talk about them?
I'm excited. I've set myself an unnecessary rule, Ben. I didn't expect you to follow it, and I've seen your answers, so I know you haven't. But I've tried to because I think there was so much that I wanted to talk about. I've set myself a rule for my FrightFest Awards: no repeats. So if you've won one award, even if you were brilliant in another category, and
That's good, though. You've done no repeats. I think I've done repeats, but I might change my mind on a few of these things.
Okay, you're allowed to. That's your prerogative.
Should we start with category numero uno?
Yes, please.
Okay, so category number 1 is Best Scare. Do you have a pick for Best Scare, Andy?
Ooh, Best Scare. You might have to go first. Maybe I didn't write that down.
Oh, look at that. He's so prepared, this guy. So, Best Scare for me, I've gone for Tomb Watcher. Now, the reason I've gone for Tomb Watcher is because there was more than one. There was a moment in Tomb Watcher which was the only... I'm not saying this because I'm a big brave boy, Andy.
Yeah.
It was the only moment at the whole of FrightFest where I genuinely, gripped onto the sides.
Cacti Dax.
Cacked my dax, dacked me cax. I genuinely grabbed onto the side of the the armrest because I was like, Jesus Christ. Now there's kind of two moments though, right? And it happened twice to me, which is good for this film. This film isn't like... Obviously, it's got supernatural scares. It's ghostly scares. The one of the main characters is like a creepy ghost who appears. There was a really good shot of someone on a TV who walked out of frame on the TV and then walked by the window, which I thought was great. I thought that was masterful. But the moment it got me was randomly they were just outside doing some stuff, and suddenly the horrible ghost lady just ran full pelt at our main character, and it was so unexpected. I was like, Jesus Christ! I think a little bit of wee might come out, but and then there was another bit where our main character was lying in the tomb of this particular character. I think it might be the dream sequence, and then this scary ghost lady was on the bloody ceiling, and I think it was a combination of the sound design, the big screams, and then just the face that this character pulled, because it was it's a Thai film, and I guess it did have J horror vibes, but also classic Woman in Black, classic ghost story sort of type of vibes as well. So
I'm going to join you on this one, I think, Ben, not just because I hadn't written one down for best.
Don't bloody lie to me.
But I agree with absolutely everything you've said on that, and I haven't been able to get Team Watcher into something else, and I really do think it deserves a bit of recognition. Yeah, those exact same reasons, and the bit that got me for the purposes of offering something different, tension plus scares isn't even when there is a ghost on screen. I hate that bit where a main fella is all catatonic in bed, not in bed, in the bath, when they've had a row and he's lying in the bath going all pruny, and his new partner comes in and she's trying to make up for him that he's talking, and she cuts his fringe. Yeah. The scissors are so close to his eyes. I was like gripping my chair. I was like, no, you're going to get poked in the eye any second. He doesn't get poked in the eye, but it was super intense.
Very intense. We got a comment on TikTok from the Draw One Last Breath podcast guys. Happy 400th, they say.
Oh, thank you. I'm going to ask if it was pre-recorded.
We say thank you very much, guys. We're looking forward to next week. Getting our conjuring on.
Yeah, looking forward to seeing you again after a lovely time hanging out at FrightFest.
Such a lovely time. Okay, so what is the next category, I hear you ask? And I will tell you. Best Death. Now,
Best Death I do have. I'm prepared.
Okay, I'll let you go first then if that's the case.
For Best Death, I'm going to use my opportunity to nod to... I was going to say Bone Temple. It's not Bone Temple. It's Bone Lake.
It's bloody Bone Lake, isn't it? Yeah.
Bone Lake, a film that I really enjoyed. A film which could have featured in a number of categories here. I've gone for Kill. I don't want to spoil it because it's a film everyone will get to watch very soon. But there is some, I will say, sterling chainsaw work in this film.
Sterling chainsaw work, indeed. I will agree with you.
There are honourable mentions there. Apopheniacs has some incredible ones. But I'm giving this to Bone Lake.
Good stuff. So, who am I going to go for? So, there's a group of... So, in the Toxic Avenger, there's a group of hitmen, you would say, who are also in a band. Genre of which, I'll leave that up to you. Kind of like a cross between Slipknot and Limp Bizkit, I would say, simply because they've got like someone on the decks. They're all kind of masked up. There's like obviously a Joker-esque main man. There's like a parkour dude. There's some guy with a chicken head, who I guess is like Wes Borland, essentially. I'm giving Best Death to the way they all met their end at the hands of the Toxic Avenger because it was great. And, you know, some people have complained a little bit about the CGI. I feel like the CGI in this particular scene kind of lent itself to the ridiculous, over-the-top nature of these kills. People getting like the tops of their heads cut off, the toxic mop, you know, just ripping people to bits, melting people to bits, and then, of course, the final reveal of a certain chicken-headed person. I think that was the full stop. That was the icing on the cake.
Punctuation mark on that one. Of course, Toxic Avenger UK cinemas now. People can go and experience that for themselves.
And please do, because it really is a good time. So yeah, that's mine. The Killer Nuts and all of their deaths in the Toxic Avenger. Yeah, but we should, you know, we also did speak to Luisa Guerrero, who is under the mask in the Toxic Avenger. So please go back to our last episode at FrightFest and listen to that interview, because that was also a great insight into that dual role that she shared with Peter Dinklage in the Toxic Avenger. Okay, so next, best effects.
Best effects. I'm not sure if we had the same now, Ben.
Might have the same. That doesn't matter, does it?
Oh yeah, we might have the same. But if you can tell me if it is, I had to go here for pure effort. You were just mentioning CGI, not a bloody slice of it over here, mate. I offered it up to Joe Bigos and Jimmy and Stiggs for effects here because the same. The same,
yeah. I went for that as well because listen, he did all. I know it wasn't just him who did the everything, but it is a one-man vision, one-man show on screen at least.
You know, there's bits where he is going through doing an action scene. He has a camera rig on his shoulder. He was doing this. He's running through walls. He's wielding chainsaws, real chainsaws, and cutting through prosthetic limbs. He is smashing up alien puppets. He is doing all sorts, and this is all stuff that he built and ran in his own apartment, an apartment that he doesn't own, that he rents, that he has a landlord. I think that the commitment to the craft here, to the filming, to building out these effects, it's something I have infinite time for. And I know working on computers is also very hard, but I just have a particular love for all of this practical work that Joe put into this movie.
Yeah, absolutely. And I agree with that. Like, the fact that, we saw one of these aliens at FrightFest with him afterwards. These melon-headed fish, what do you call them? Melon, you call them a lot of
like anchovy motherfuckers.
Anchovy motherfuckers. Like, they don't, like, they look like puppets. They don't, the fact that they achieved so much with these, like, floppy, foamy puppets and these gallons of, like, neon blood, and, like, the fact that at the end of the film, he had, like, essentially the interior of a spaceship in his apartment is insane. And yeah, just everything you just said about the prosthetics, the chainsaw, the kind of the rigs that they had set up, like the first person peep show style rigs that they had set up going on. It's just amazing, isn't it? Like, and yeah, we've seen a lot of great special effects and kills and some CGI, some good, some bad. But I feel like the fact that he achieved so much, and it's relentless as well. Like, this film, what is it, like 85 minutes? But
85 minutes of basically
it does
just
not let
binge.
up. It doesn't let up. It's insane. It's insane. So yeah, we're going to say for that achievement, at least that achievement on its own, best effects, Joe Bagos and Jimmy and Stiggs. I don't know if we've got any idea of a release yet, have we?
Out in the US, limited release now, like 75 cinemas or something along those lines. People can just go to the mall and see it. I don't know if it's having a UK or an international cinema release, but yeah, if you're in the US listening to this, you might be able to go now. Check out your local listings.
Next up, we got best catchphrase. Now, you would say catchphrase. That's a weird bloody category for awards, but there were many moments at this year's Fright Fest that had me and Andy cackling in glee and repeating certain things over and over again throughout the weekend. So we're going to give a new category, best catchphrase. And who have you chosen for this particular one?
What have
you chosen? Sorry.
For from Self-Help, the Blomqvist brothers' latest movie. We have a whole adventure here. We have a daughter reuniting with her mum, who she has a fractured relationship with. She's perhaps joined a cult. I don't want to go into spoil the whole movie, but everything unfolds. And then what just really gave me no end of entertainment, as we were stepping away in the final scene, she's walking away from the troubles in her life, and she questions whether a girl was really ever her friend, and she calls back to her, and hey, sincere look into the camera, happy birthday. And that, for me, is now the parting comment that I made several of our friends every time we saw Aaron Truss for the rest of the time. I'd tap him on the shoulder, regardless of what we'd just been talking about, and just sincerely look him in the eyes and saying, hey, happy birthday. And that is my new favourite catchphrase that I picked up from things. That's how I'll be signing off any conversation.
Absolutely.
The lower the amount of context people have for me wishing them a happy birthday is the goal for me. And also, what a nice way to sign off a podcast, because inevitably, on one occasion, someone's going to listen. It will be their birthday.
It will be their birthday, yeah. If it is your birthday, I know, happy birthday. I'm going to go for best catchphrase. So this is something I was repeating, and I think I mentioned it a few times on the podcast as well, the FrightFest podcast. So it is from Night of Violence. And there is a particular... What's weird about this is I saw the guy who said this, I saw him in the pub in the Phoenix, like the same night as we'd obviously been... Not the same night we watched this film, but the night we'd been repeating this particular catchphrase. So the catchphrase is, so there's a moment where these characters are hiding from some killers, some people trying to get them, and a certain character starts smashing through some drywall, Jack Torrance style, and the character says, "They're coming through the goddamn wall!"
I wonder if you're going to shout that when you're safely in your home, but you've done it.
But not only does he say it once. And bearing in mind, everybody else in the scene has got eyes, so they can see that these characters are coming through the goddamn wall. He says about 3 times, right? So I'm going to do it another time for you. They're coming through the goddamn wall!
And then also plus trousers fall down.
Plus trousers fall down, because this character's trousers fall down twice. Both times played for laughs. Both times got a laugh from the audience, but also from me. I think mine was like an ironic laugh, though. Mine was like I was laughing at the fact that they decided to choose for a character's trousers to fall down as a punchline. So I laughed at that. And you know what? They're winning, because I laughed at it. Okay?
Yeah.
Call me
How does an ironic laugh count to the viewers then? Exactly the same.
Exactly the same. So, my favourite catchphrase is coming through the goddamn wall / trousers fall down from the main character, Night of Violence. I'm not sure what that character's name was. This character's was Glassesman, I'll call
The
him.
Glassesman. The nice Glassesman.
The nice Glassesman is bloody trousers fall down. Okay, so next up we've got Best Cast. So, what was the best cast, would you say, of FrightFest 2025?
Well, again, honourable mentions. Lots of people I could call out on this one. I won't say any out loud in case it's your actual choice, Ben. But for me, I went for my best cast, and I went for Marshmallow. Lots of promising young actors in this. Plus, of course, the dad from Psych. It was a great old time, and I think genuinely, joking aside, lots of really promising performances. Again, I think when you say child actors, there is a degree of shade that maybe comes with that, but actually just great young actors, really, really charming performances. I think they've got lots more horror in their lives, both from the actual children and the camp counselors that really lead into some of those archetypes as well. Lots of fun stuff.
Yeah, good choice. I like that. I did enjoy Marshmallow. It's been one that's kind of have sat with me a little bit longer, perhaps, than I anticipated it did. But my favourite cast, best cast, is Apopheniacs, the Chris Mars Piliero directed, not really an anthology movie, but kind of intertwining narrative.
Who's your favourite character?
AI driven. AI is a plot device. Let's say that. AI driven is probably the wrong way to describe it. Who's your favourite character? He said. I will say, a great ensemble cast, right? Everybody is bringing their A game here. Not only is everyone cool as fuck, everybody's genuinely interesting, and their characters are like. A lot of people said, "Oh, the dialogue, man. The dialogue is it's trying too hard to be Tarantino." I had no problem with the dialogue. The dialogue worked well for me, and I feel like a lot of people do try and replicate Tarantino in crime thrillers or in these kind of films, the films that are trying to be cool. I feel like Apopheniacs not only successfully hit the dialogue marker, but it also successfully hit I'm cool marker. I just really loved it, and after speaking to Aaron Holiday as well after his performance, it made me appreciate his performance even more so, because I think he was a great. Imagine directing that guy. He seemed like such a lot of fun. He was very playful, a bit sarcastic. I kind of like that. I feel like he's the kind of person you could probably bounce off a bit if you're trying to direct them. And then of course Sean Gunn. Sean Gunn turns up, and things go mad. But it is great. I really did enjoy it. And what's the name of my favourite character?
It's Poppy, isn't it?
It's Poppy, yeah. I can't remember who the bloody plays Poppy. I can't remember. I thought I would have the list in front of me, but
He's a bit burned into his memory.
Burned into your bloody memory. That she sits in the back of an Uber at one point eating a lollipop. And you might say, you know what, that's pretty basic, that's pretty easy to do. She had me in the palm of her hands. I'm in the palm of her hands. So, and also Paige Cersei as Lazzie as well. Someone who's on the receiving end of some of this AI tomfoolery. So the actress who plays Poppy is Simran Jahani. She was great, and again, annoying when I don't want to spoil anything. I wish we spent more time with her. Paige Cersei as Lazzie, also good. Is it Amok Kapoor, who we witnessed perform?
Yeah, absolutely belting out. What's on
Crazy Train.
He was really good.
He had a lot. His energy, the energy he has in this film, he has that energy in real life. And
it's kind of intimidating being at a karaoke, and then someone like that rocks up. I think second or third person that came up, if I'd been on the fence about whether I was gonna put my name down, Ben, that would have been over.
It
It's
would have
only
been
afterwards that
absolutely
you
over.
go, oh, he's a professional actor, so he probably doesn't mind jumping and dancing and
He's a professional
really
actor.
really
Oh,
like
it's
getting
good.
the crowd going. He was really good.
Yeah, it was iconic, and for that reason, like everybody's now. Obviously, we spent a bit of time with some of the cast, so in a way, we're almost like better placed to
In a way, we're almost like best mates.
We're almost best mates. We're pretty much best mates of them. But yeah, Apophenac's best cast for me. Next, best performance. It's a big one. But no, to be fair, these are kind of in no real order, these categories. So
Yeah, we'll do film last, I guess. But performance for me, I didn't say it on camera, Ben. We didn't have the cameras up at the time, but I did say it to her face. Toby Poser of Addams Family fame for her role as Solveig in Mother of Flies.
yeah,
Best witch on screen, with apologies to Angela Houston. She's bloody done it. I think she plays it in a complex way. She isn't like cackling and maniacal. She is like got some real like gentle but very forceful, very like she's someone who doesn't speak loudly, but you can see that she's in control. She has that authority in what she's doing. Like comes across as the smartest person in the room. I think physically a great performance. I thought it was brilliant. One of the best witches I've seen on screen. So even though there was lots I liked about this film, that is the choice I'm making with my recommendation.
something I never mentioned about Mother of Flies to you is, you know, when you're like, oh, staying in a cabin, are you? Oh, bloody hell. It's a bit rural, a bit out of the way. I'm going to have access to all my amenities. And then you get there and it's just like a little wooden cabin. This is like the most... How would you describe this cabin?
This is like, you know, when Airbnb do like come and stay at like the X Mansion or something absolutely mad. Like, basically, it looks like a house that Hellboy would go and visit when he's in like a weird great fantasy dimension. It's like grown out of a tree. It looks incredible.
It must be it's a real place, right? Like it's basically like a mushroom, or like you sleep on like a bed of moss. And what you have for dinner? A variety of, I would say, nuts and seeds is even pushing that too far. It's like
nuts and seeds, couple of mushrooms in there, a bit of slice of something.
Slice of something, a bloody bramble with loads of thorns on it. Get that down in there. It's the most witchy house in the history of the world.
It's so good. Like combine that with the setting. So the only problem I had is I feel the dad could have been a bit more supportive. What's that? Oh, I'm supporting you. I've got to go through. You're going through an awful lot. This is really our last chance to do something about this incurable illness you have. What's that? I haven't got hamburgers for dinner.
What's that? You ain't got bloody Costa coffee? Costa coffee frappuccino? Why's frappuccino? You ain't got that?
To the bean, mate. I need it. Just
slave to the bean.
Drink your nettle tea and fucking suck it up, mate. It's for 3 days.
Drink your nettle tea that gives you instant tummy ache.
Yeah, or don't. Just go. If you don't like any of the weird food that the magical witch is serving you, just go, just a water, please.
You ain't got any Watsits, have you?
Yeah. Like, just have a glass of water and say, like, oh, I'm not very hungry. Can I have an apple? Because they have them in the forest. Have that.
Yeah. It'd be a weird apple, though, wouldn't it? It'd be a weird, wrinkly apple plucked from the teat of a... You had to climb the tree to get it.
Other strong performance in that was that deer doing his little nose.
Yeah, we like that. That was
I
our
liked him a
favourite.
lot.
My best performance, I'm going for Luisa Guerrero at Toxic Avenger. Now, we've done this before on this show, where you meet someone or you hear someone talking about the film and their infectious energy really rubs off on you. And I felt like that after she did the intro to the film and after we interviewed her as well. And I guess maybe I didn't actually realise that pretty much any time the Toxic Avenger is on the screen in the suit, it's her.
Yeah, every time. So Peter Dinklage plays Winston when he's in human form, and he voices it throughout. But anytime you see the Toxic Avenger themselves, it is Luisa.
So for that alone, the fact that I watched the film and I never at one point went, "Hey, that's two bloody people. That is, I'm not sold." And even during the dialogue scenes where he obviously voiced it, I was sold. And I like the way the Toxic Avenger are really leaning into the fact that it's Louisa in their marketing. We've seen a lot of stuff recently where they've kind of shared behind the scenes things about her. Not only is it a performance, a physical performance, but like we said, she's leaning into her history with combat. And did she say dance as well? But there's a lot of
she's done she's a movement performer. She's used to working in prosthetics, and I think she said that when all of her peers at acting school took an extra session of tap, she went into combat.
Yeah,
and basically, this was the role she was always moving towards throughout her career.
I mean, absolute mad respect. So for that alone, but also the story of this role and everything that's been leaded towards this, I'm going to choose Louisa because it's different. It was a different performance for me to choose rather than sort of just a standard performance with dialogue and other things. She embodies the Toxic Avenger, which is great. So next up, best short. Now I didn't actually go to any of the short film showcases, so my choice for this, sorry to jump in, Andy, is going to be one of the vignettes at the start, which obviously had Ian from FrightFest in it. Turn off your bloody phone, which obviously got a lot of laughs. Got a lot of laughs, but the main reason I'm choosing it for is because there's a moment they kept an outtake in where his hat falls off, which I enjoyed. So I'm going to choose that as best short. Why not?
Why not indeed, Ben? I feel we could, if they're ever short of these, we could provide one of these shorts in the future for Turn Your Phone Off.
We've still got to recreate us at the end of Dark Knight Rises.
We'll do that.
That'll be it. That'll be the short.
Turn Your Phone Off. My favourite short. I liked a lot of the shorts I saw, so this isn't, damning all the others for eternity. I only got to see one of the 4 showcases, but the one that has stuck with me and I've remained smiling about was Blood Buzz, which had your friend and mine, old Johnny Vivesh, was there as a farmer a young girl comes to his farm, embroiled in a conspiracy that people are being taken over body snatchers style by a race of mosquito people. Do I need to say it anymore? This is the exact kind of bullshit that I am fully on board for. Give me a feature of this immediately. It was good fun. It would make a wonderful B-movie horror comedy. Give me more of this. I had a great laugh with it.
Hell yeah, absolutely. Okay, best foreign language. Now I was a bit confused with this because I chose one and I was a bit I'm going to choose that for another one, so I've switched.
Switched. Have I dragged you into the?
Well, I mean, I think I sent you what I actually did choose, so I've chosen Tomb Watcher. For all the reasons I said previously, the supernatural horror, the kind of the relationship, the drama. Listen, the man they're fighting over, absolute wet wipe, total wet wipe. I don't get it.
Paints a picture real fast.
Paints a picture like a what? Like a dot
matrix printer.
Like a dot matrix printer. At one point, he's painting what he thinks is his mistress, and then she goes, "Let's have a look." Then looks, he's painted his wife. We've all been there, all right? We've all been there.
You've all painted your dead wife.
It's ever so awkward for everyone involved. So I'm going to say Tomb Watcher for that because I don't even know how many Thai films I've seen as well, and I really enjoyed it.
Awesome. I have gone for, me, Ben. Love a French horror movie. I've gone for Flush. So much fun. A good, really, really funny, really visceral. I love the effects. I love how they managed to keep the tension and the interest going in such a very, very narrow space.
Yeah.
I thought Flush was a real blast. I'm really looking forward to the opportunity I get to see Flush again, to be honest.
Yeah. And I guess we could also, lean into best catchphrase. Another thing that we were saying constantly.
Shouting his name.
Shouting his name was the main character shouting his name, Luke, when he was trying to call someone to say his name.
He was trying to shout to the police when the drug dealer's stolen the phone off him. Luke!
Luke! Luke! Call police!
That was so
I think
fun.
there was one moment where we were staying in the Airbnb where me and Andy were just yelling at each other from different rooms.
Yeah.
It was a daytime. It wasn't nighttime. We were thinking about
Never
the
be
neighbours.
so rude.
Never be so rude. Okay, next we've got... So we've got Best Director and Best Feature. I'm going to skip over those and go to the other categories, and then we'll return to those two after that. Best Hangout Film. So there's probably a few you could choose for this one, but I'm going to choose Jimmy and Stig's again, because I feel like if you watch this film like with other people, it probably would be the best experience. I think you could play. Right, first of all, you could play a drinking game. If you enjoy drinking, take a swig every time the main character of Jimmy takes a swig of anything.
You die.
You would die. Take a swig every time he. This is separate, by the way. This isn't as well. Take a swig. Of course, have a soft drink. Have a water. You'll be well hydrated. Take a swig every time he insults one of the aliens. Yeah.
Yep.
What else? Take a swig every time he lands a punch on his mate Stiggs. Or vice versa.
Yeah.
That'd be good. Basically, it's just one of those films that I think is insane. I think knowing the backstory of the fact that it's shot in Joe's apartment is also kind of adds to the experience of the whole thing, right?
Yeah, I would not argue with you, Ben. I would also call that out as a Hangout movie had I not established my rule and had already used up Jimmy and Stiggs elsewhere. So, I think a wonderful movie, a movie that invites you to have your mates around and watch it with them and laugh along and play along with that one. I am going to, in the absence of being allowed to do that, I'm going to call out Your Host as the...
oh my God, yeah, of course.
As a good Hangout movie. It's got those visceral kills. It's got things you can watch together on the sofa. It's got some compelling performances. But also, on a more serious note, because of the dynamics, and you heard when I was talking to DW about the film, it's got some things that I think could spark conversation amongst your friend group as well. You know, you could debate afterwards. Whose side are you on? Who are you actually rooting for in this film?
Absolutely.
The way it explores power dynamics, abuses of power, and how it talks. I think DW said it himself. Like, it goes to show that a bad guy might not be entirely bad, and a good guy might not be entirely innocent either. I think it's a really cool exploration that you could have with that, and I think it does invite watching it with friends so you can discuss as you go along. So that's my answer for that.
Absolutely. Good choice. Good choice. Next up, let's go for a wild card. A wild card pick. Now, we've got honourable mentions as well, but I guess the difference between honourable mention and a wild card is just a random one that we haven't mentioned yet that you just like to chuck out there as something to...
Yeah.
So, what have you got?
My wild card, Ben, I'm going for Dooba Dooba.
Dooba Dooba, yes indeed.
It's a film from like a home security perspective, deeply uncomfortable in a lot of places, really great sort of character interplay with like a horrible, sinister undercurrent that's always flowing through it. Stylistically, it's just like when you go to like the 1990 PowerPoint presentations before PowerPoint was even a thing. Like it's really in your face. It's really of its time. It's got Paranormal Activity vibes in the way it feels quite lo-fi at times.
Yeah.
The dialogue feels really natural, which is why I put this as a wild card versus a maybe the honourable mention, because I don't think it's necessarily a film for everyone. But I think if someone comes up to you, I think it has those similar energies of things like Skinamarink. You could bounce off this real hard, but if you like this film, I think you're probably going to love it.
Yeah, I feel like if you like what Skinamarink was going for, but perhaps didn't like the execution.
Yeah, I like this far more than Skinamarink.
Like so.
Yeah, it felt too much like an art installation for me. Whereas Dooba Dooba, it had enough for me to grip onto as a story, and I really enjoyed where it was going.
Absolutely, hell yeah! My wild card is The Home. So I'm picking The Home because it was an opening film. And I liked it a lot more than I thought it was going to. I was kind of a bit like, was I looking forward to it? I kind of thought it was going to be predictable. And it wasn't. And I like Pete Davidson's sleepy facial expressions. I like
lovely big eyes.
Lovely big eyes. I like that he was mostly a nice guy in it. You know, I was worried they were going to lean into the like bad boy, you know, because he was in trouble for graffiti and all that stuff. I thought they were going to lean into that and he was going to be a bit of a knob or maybe like bloody old people, bloody boomers. And it wasn't like that at all. It was very, very surprising. And I liked he was doing some overacting at the end as well. And there was a moment...
His rampage almost hit my best kill of
His rampage is great. It's up there for me as the Right, so there's a few like holy fuck yeah moments in horror this year that I've really enjoyed. One of which is a moment in Weapons when a particular, don't want to spoil Weapons, but a particular spell gets reversed, let's say.
Yeah.
And I was like, holy fuck yeah. And there's a moment in The Home when a particular thing happens and I'm like, oh, holy fuck yeah, it's on. And I enjoyed that. So
Yeah,
for that,
it was a lot of fun. I liked lots of the Home.
yeah, definitely. Okay, so next we're going to go for an honourable mention or honourable mentions, I guess. I've just got 2 down, but I guess we can go for more than that. Up to you.
I've glued myself to 1, but you can do as many as you like. Then live your life. My honourable mention, because I think it is a film that invites.
I realise I've done an American spelling of honourable as well there.
Oh no!
I blame
Fix
the
that.
old. I blame the old.
We'll call that cross-cultural accessibility. Then.
yeah.
Honourable.
You're right. Honourable mention.
For me, I'm going to go with Blockhead, not just because Joe Sims, absolute legend of the craft. Really like it as someone who has worked as a writer for a number of years. I think it's a really good exploration of the expectations, the craft of writing, the way that the characters are developed as well. The performances are really strong, and I was just really conscious that it could have been honorably mentioned. It could have taken a gong in a lot of the categories I have mentioned too. Particularly, I think Joe could have challenged for like the best performance as well. So
yeah,
the strong performance across all measures. Blockhead is going as my honourable mention for the festival.
For all of those reasons and more, I'll say Blockhead as well, because it was such a lovely surprise, and I feel like the experience we've had chatting to Joe about this, obviously before the event, at the event, on BBC Radio Bristol, has been great, and I had no idea he was in the film until I started watching it, which is what is crazy. So for that reason, I would say great. Love the Bristolian accent being represented in film. Hell yes. So that is one of my honourable mentions. My other honourable mention is the In Conversation with Graham Humphrey's documentary, Captured Souls. I love this. It was great. Considering it was like not something they planned, I think they were kind of like, the filmmaker was like wanting to make something else, and that fell through. And then he was like, Graham, shall I make a documentary about you? He was like, yeah, why not, mate? Bloody go for it. It was great. A lot of people who were on screen were in the room as well when we were watching it. It was just a great love letter to an illustrator, a graphic designer, and I guess shining a light on something that probably doesn't get too much of a light shone on it in the horror industry, which is like the iconic horror movie poster. And still, when I see an illustrated movie poster for anything nowadays, I think, hell yes. And this was kind of like 90 minutes of hell yes, I would say.
Amazing. What's your next category, Ben?
I've gone for a film we missed. So there's a few films we missed we want to catch up on. A couple of which we're going to get a chance to, because I think we've received some screeners. One of which is Matt Stewart's Human. We obviously spoke to the director, but we didn't actually see the film. And a couple more I missed. I missed Redux. Obviously, you saw that, but with the way everyone's kind of been talking about that film and talking about a lot of people saying it's their film at the festival, I need to see that. And another one I missed was Hold the Fort. That was a late night one that we didn't actually get a chance to see. I would like to see that as well. Yeah.
I heard really good things about Hold the Fort. Emma was really positive about it, so I'm looking forward to seeing that as soon as I get a chance to. Other than that, I agree with the other things that you mentioned that I hadn't seen, but the other one I would add to that is Gil, which was a Korean animated film that was on the Sunday.
Yeah.
It was sold out, but it was also on the Monday after I had to leave and head home. That went really well for me, obviously. The train broke down. I got home at 2 a.m. But nominally, I would have had to have caught my train and missed it. So I didn't get to see that, and it looks absolutely stunning. So I want to catch that as well. But as you say, Human, we're having some chats with Matt, and we're going to catch up on that as soon as we can. And we're still working through ones that we didn't get to see that each other maybe crossed over with in the build-up as well. So still mopping up from FrightFest. More reviews coming.
Still mopping it right up. And then what else have we got?
Biggest surprise, director and film, I think.
Okay, so biggest surprise for me, I'm going to go for Flush. Look! I'm going to go... Oh, God. I bloody heard that, did. I'm going to go for Flush now because it was a late film. It was a late film on what? Friday? Was it a late Friday night film?
Last Friday night film, yeah.
Last Friday night film, a late film. Oh, this film's a single location film about a man with his head stuck in a toilet. I was like, oh, for God's sake. Do I want to watch this? Am I interested in this? And you know what? I had a great time. It was funny. It was ridiculous. It was disgusting. It was shocking. It was adorable. I had an adorable little rat in it. Little ratatouille. So I will say, biggest surprise for me was Flush. Simply because I think my expectations of it were like, in the toilet!
Got him.
Hey, got him!
Biggest surprise for me, again, a film that I wanted to make sure we mentioned here. I bloody loved Kombucha when I finally got to watch that. This is one that I didn't get to catch until after the festival. I was gutted to have missed it. It would have definitely been on my sad I missed, but thankfully had a conversation with Jake Myers, the director. He was able to send us the right materials to be able to catch up on it. We've had an interview with him that will be out very soon. I really enjoyed this movie. It was funny. It was really poignant. It really leans into what's going on in society, particularly corporate culture right now. Absolute blast. Love to see it. You'll hear in the interview that it is screening in some more festivals around the world right now before it heads out for wider distribution. Go and see it. I think particularly, Ben and I, both of us, much as we love coming to chatting to you and covering these horror movies and everything we do in this horror space, we both have jobs as well. It is very, very, very on point with people who have creative outlets, people who want to do things creatively, but they have to balance that with their work life as well. So I think really, really good messages, let alone really well performed, really funny, some great effects and stuff in there as well. Again, easily in the running for anything. I think mostly it missed out because I saw it only just after I'd locked down a lot of my answers.
Yeah. There we go. Good stuff. Okay. So let's backtrack just a little bit. To Best Director. Okay. Do you have a pick for that?
Director, yes. This is where I'm going to mention Apopheniacs, Ben, and Chris Mars-Pillero. It's his first feature. I don't understand how it's his first feature. I know that he has done a lot of amazing work in music videos already, but it's so well put together. Apopheniacs, I had a great time watching it. Again, really strong performances, but I can really see, especially having met with Chris and had a little chat with him as well, I can see that he has really poured heart and soul into bringing his love of film, his love of cinema, the things that he really likes onto screen and telling that joined up narrative that he's put together with this film. An absolute triumph. There have been people that have directed their entire careers and I think maybe haven't put together something quite as visually stunning and just so neatly put together as Chris has with this film. So I didn't hesitate writing his name down and putting my Apopheniacs nod for him as director.
Hell yes. So I've gone for Best Director, Mercedes Bryce Morgan for Bone Lake, just because I realised that I haven't really nominated Bone Lake for many of the awards, but it's right up there in every category, I would say, for me. I think it could easily be Best Cast. I feel like it's a great four people who were the main characters in that were awesome. It's really well written. I just think in terms of direction, it took me in places I didn't expect. And it's a really nice, tightly wound film as well. And I think it was really well directed. And I feel like she got the most out of all of those performances, most out of the mystery, most out of the drama, the violence, other things like that. So yeah, really good time. And as far as I'm aware, everybody who saw Bone Lake is a fan.
Yeah, agreed.
Everybody's a fan.
Very well.
So that's best director for me.
Favourite film then? Ben?
Wait, you've said best director. Sorry, I was about to come back to you then. Apologies. This is a difficult one. I did not know what to choose. So I literally went for the film I rated the highest on Letterboxd star-wise. Which sounds obvious. It's like, okay, well, yeah, that makes total sense. Of course, why wouldn't you do that? So I have gone for the Toxic Avenger. The reason being, I can explain more. We're going to do a review afterwards. I feel like the way we're almost at 2 hours for streaming so far. With our review, we're going to have to do a review without the plot, if that makes sense.
We're just we'll give it a more thorough review than we did as we came out of the cinema. But gotta get to bed at some point, lads. Come on.
I feel like the Toxic Avenger was just a lot of fun. I like the original. It's not my favourite thing in the world. I'm not a huge trauma guy. I like some of the trauma films. I'd like to be more of a trauma guy. I should be more of a trauma guy. I'm sure I could be if I gave more of the films a chance. This was just good fun. I liked all of the smaller characters in terms of, like, you know, Kevin Bacon, Elijah Wood. I feel like the supporting cast were great. You know, the world building was great. The names of places, this kind of like comedy, like with news reporters and, you know, bystanders and all these. It all kind of worked. Now, I feel like a lot of people like the Toxic Avenger. You must remember the Toxic Avenger, especially performance-wise, is a bit like a cheap 70s porno, isn't it?
Mm-hmm.
Like, so this is kind of like the same sort of thing, but it's got that like Hollywood. I wouldn't even say Hollywood. It's got this Hollywood bizarro comedy theme to it. A bit like grindhouse films like Hobo of a Shotgun, for example. They know exactly what they are. They're like a spoof of a spoof, but taking itself seriously. I liked it. It was good fun. I love some soundtrack choices as well. They were great, and I think Peter Dinklage was awesome. I love the fact they got him in the tutu without any questions. Why is he in a tutu? Just is. All right.
Just is. It's important.
Yeah. What about you?
My pick of the festival, ultimately, I've still been thinking about it since I watched it, was indeed Redux.
Redux.
Directed by the McManus brothers, starring the McManus sister, a bit like the Animaniacs. Michaela McManus, but also great performances put in from Stella Marcus, Jeremy Holm, Jim Cummings, like a great supporting cast across the board, as well as some phenomenal dual leads. I just enjoyed everything about it. Really, in a time when multiverse stories are probably at the most that market has ever been flooded. We're in peak multiverse at this point. It could only reduce from here. And they used it in such a subtle and interesting way. It wasn't being it was just a fact that happened. Like, I love it how they embrace the fact that, much like having to describe an EMP after 1999, aka you don't have to anymore, people know how they work. Like, the explanation of multiverses is just, I've seen sliding doors, it's fine, I know how it works. Really, really clever, really, really sharp. The action was incredible. The killer is genuinely scary. It belongs on a horror stage. I am now absolutely going to be following these creators both in front of and behind the camera to see what they turn up in next, because for me, seeing what they pulled off with this film is a mark of quality that I don't want to ignore when they turn up for something else. I think we're going to see huge things from them, and as and when this gets a wider release, I think it's going to become huge. I think it's going to become really popular, at very least like a genre or a cult following, if not actually breaking through and being that film that everyone is talking about.
Hell yeah, man. Can't wait. I can't wait to see it. There we go. That's our FrightFest award picks.
FrightFest awards. Applause noises. We're not adding that in. I'm not making do sound effects as well.
Yeah. Don't give me that. Don't give me extra work to do. But yeah, we'll make some posts and share these on socials as well, tagging the relevant creators so you know how much we appreciated their work. But yeah, a really great festival this year. And again, I always feel the same. When I go into these festivals, I'm always like, I have no idea what to expect. And the fact that you come out thinking that's like one of my favourite films of the year, or now I'm going to follow everything this particular actor, director, writer, is super exciting. So yeah.
I can tell you for absolute free when we get a New Year's episode as 2026 becomes a thing in a few months' time. You're going to hear me talking about some of the films we've seen here, which you should take as such an impressive feat, bearing in mind the quality of new releases we've seen this year already. It's going to be a huge, I feel like when we do the top 10s at the end of this year, the top half of the list is going to be something that could be a number one on a previous year.
Yeah, absolutely. I agree with you there. Okay, so next up, Toxic Avenger. I've managed to get a picture, Andy, to fill that little gap.
He's done it. He's put a picture in.
He put a bloody picture in. Toxic Avenger. Toxic Avenger unrated as well. So what we're going to do, we're going to do a review of Toxic Avenger. We are not going to do like an in-depth plot
We'll be here till midnight.
review. We'll be here till bloody midnight. So what we will do instead of that is kind of like give us... I'll introduce it in a similar way that I usually would. So the Toxic Avenger is 2023, that's right, 2023, American superhero black comedy splatter film written and directed by Macon Blair. The fifth installment, a reboot of the Toxic Avenger film series, a remake of the 1984 film. It stars Peter Dinklage, Jacob Tremblay, Taylor Page, Julia Davis, Elijah Wood and Kevin Bacon, and of course Luisa Guerrero. And IMDb is... Actually, I don't think I've got that. I've only got Letterboxd. Sorry. Lots to prep for, Andy, so I apologise for that sort of stuff. I've just realised that I'm streaming my little notes to TikTok as well. I'm going to move that over. I knew I'd forget something. I was trying to make it look as good as possible on every single platform. My notes, there you go. Hope you enjoyed my notes. One person watching now on TikTok.
I've seen the notes. I know what he's going to say.
3.2 on Letterboxd. Joseph K says, a great homage to the 80s underground classic, ridiculous, campy and hilarious, 4 stars. Sarah Stubbs says, loving a Toxic Avenger movie and finding it wholesome was not on my bingo card, but here we go, 4.5 stars. Toon Talk says, very happy this finally got released, but it was kind of not fully for me. Humour is hit or miss. Everyone has fun when Kevin Bacon is having fun, 2.5 stars. And Seth Brundlefly says, oh man, did this deliver. It felt off-kilter, over-the-top, awkward, political, bizarre, and hilarious in all the ways good trauma films do. 4.5 stars. God, I forgot.
4.5
I was thinking,
stars.
what am I not saying there? Yeah, I mean, we've obviously said a little bit already. I will say, yes, I agree with all of that. Like, it felt like it has its place in modern cinema. It is over the top. It is a splatter film, essentially. But I feel like it captures the over-the-top nature, and yeah, I find it hilarious. I heard a lot of people saying, oh, the humour was a bit hit and miss, or the humour was a bit childish and stuff. No one's trousers fell down.
Yeah, no one's trousers fell, let alone twice.
Let alone twice. So if you're disappointed, then I understand. But
yeah,
but still, I will say I really enjoyed it. It was way better than I was expecting. Obviously, so what is the official terminology for why it didn't get released in 2023?
I don't know. I don't know what the official line is that's caused it, because it premiered at Fantastic Fest. I'm not just sure if it is it a was it that it just was. Oh, here you go. Film initially had trouble securing a distributor because one unnamed producer deemed it unreleasable because of concerns about its violent content.
Not bloody unreleasable. I mean, why in the year of our Lord 2025 are people saying this sort of stuff? Like, there are 10 films this year that are way more violent. You know, it's just, it's crazy to think that that's a reason for it, especially when a film like The Toxic Avenger, a cult film, will find its audience. You know, especially with Peter Dinklage, Elijah Wood, Kevin Bacon attached. Taylor Page, I think, was great as JJ Doherty. Someone who perhaps wasn't in any of the marketing or trailers. I mean, I think she was, but like not prominently. And I think her role was really, really important to the film as well. Obviously, you get a couple of cameos in there. Lloyd Kaufman's in there, obviously. Macon Blair, the director, appears. Plays himself. I love Elijah Wood's character, Fritz Garbinger. Standard comic book villain, Oswald Cobblepot style guy with a redemption arc.
Yeah. I loved what the characters did here. Like, trauma movies have. I will not pretend to be an expert and have seen them all. I've seen maybe a handful more than you, Ben. Maybe.
Yeah.
But like, they strike a really interesting mix in that they are a trauma film on, by its DNA, especially the world of the Toxic Avenger, Shakespeare's shit show, Poultrygeist, and the like. Return to Nukem High Part 2. They go out of their way to be offensive visually, politically, audibly. The humor is crass. They're over the top. They're meant to be shocking splatter movies, but at the same time, the Toxic Avenger in particular have really strong messages of fair play, of calling out corporate corruption, greed, fairly strong environmental messages as well. It does this in an offensive as way as possible, to drive a reaction and to have a lot of fun by basically scrunching people up and doing incredibly violent deaths. And that's really, at its heart, still retained here. That core message is really retained here. I think if I was to have a comment about this, and this isn't to dismiss the film because I still found it very charming, very funny, mad to see people like Elijah Wood, like Kevin Bacon, really cutting loose and having fun with these things. Maybe, and especially it puzzles me with the comments from that producer describing it as unreleasable. It's probably the gentlest trauma movie for the offensive stakes that I have ever seen in my life. Like, I can see that in preparing this for a wide cinema audience, and I think it is true that beyond a trauma audience that they were going for, that would have found its spot if they released it on, Trauma's own streaming service or anything like that, they wouldn't have made this kind of money. They wouldn't have got a cinema release out of it. In trying to get a broader appeal, they have maybe neutered it ever so slightly from those things. And that's not a complaint. That is not a criticism. It's a fact of trying to make a more commercially viable film so you can afford to have some huge names in it. And I think that's absolutely fine to do. But the fact that you can do that and still have people, claim that it is so offensive that it's unreleasable is perhaps those people who made those comments misreading the state we're in at the moment and how much people are willing to accept those, the levels of violence in there. Because I didn't find it overly violent or expressly shocking. Maybe it's because I was in the middle of a horror festival where I'm seeing people getting smashed up left, right, and centre. But I don't think there's anything we saw in this film that I thought was completely out of tune with anything you'd see in another horror film.
Yeah, fair? I mean, I don't know if I can put it any better than that. I think you hit the nail on the head. I think it's not... I feel like we've had that a lot with films this year. We've had like, oh my god, this is the most disgusting, over-the-top, offensive
people
shit.
Are bloody walking out. You have a seat bag when you go in there.
People are falling over. People are collapsing. And, we've had that for a few years now. But I feel like for genre fans, it's good. I don't understand where your average cinema goer is necessarily going to go and go watch Toxic Avenger if they have absolutely no understanding of the character or the genre or splatter films or...
Look at how broadly Terrifier 3 got a release.
Yeah, exactly.
Which I would say
there are audiences for these things. Like, they'll find their audience. They will. Like, especially with horror fans and genre fans, they're very dedicated to
I'd also say,
look
at that
right.
Tonally as well. The Toxic Avenger at heart is a superhero violently dispatching bad people.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
Whereas Terrifier is horrible clown fucker killing mostly women.
And people, who don't deserve it. A lot of people deserve it in the Toxic Avenger. People are like big corporate fellas.
What does he describe as? Ruiners.
Big corporate fellas. Guns for hire. Just real bad blokes, real bad eggs. People who deserve it. People who are happy to see a toxic mop whip off the top of their head. And that's
The
fine.
hero we need, it says it in the poster, the hero we
Yeah.
need right now
Someone-
in this world in the year of our Lord 2025.
Someone having a lovely burning acidic piss. We know. So David Gialmini, right, mentioned Toxic Avenger's penis. How many times did he mention it on the pod, and off pod when we were
It's a
recording
beautiful
the fight?
silver acid swilling penis, I suppose. Is notable.
He loved it. So yeah, I was a big fan. I enjoyed it. As I said, without being the biggest fan of the original in the world, I think this was perfect for me. There were some great moments in it. You know, when Peter Dinklage falls into the toxic waste, and the music that's playing with like him spinning around and turning. It was such a great transformation sequence. The garish technicolor of him turning into the Toxic Avenger.
The psychedelic hell.
Yeah, it was great, and I just loved. And you know, Kevin Bacon, a comic book villain essentially, really over the top and ridiculous. His character was great. His final transformation and him going one-on-one with Toxie was also great. You know, it's the things it kind of tackles. Healthcare and your company paying for your healthcare. Rent. Being a single parent, being a single dad. You know, being a single dad doesn't get much in terms of the way of mainstream anything, really. When you get single parent things, a lot of the time it's a down and out single mum doing best by her kids. Single dad stuff doesn't come along all that often. Big Daddy with Adam Sandler, and he's not even the father. Well, I suppose Peter Dinklage isn't the father in that. Is a great sort of understanding of like what it takes to be a single father, and this is another one, like that sort of doing your best but never feeling like you're quite enough.
Feeling like you're really getting there.
Yeah, it was so good. It was so heartfelt. It captured that well. I think all the performances were great. I was a big fan, and
yeah, I think it's a brilliant and fun movie. I will definitely be watching it again. Definitely put it in that collection. Definitely got my fingers crossed that Louisa will get to don the suit one more time and
go to Japan
and follow it. Yeah, do it in Japan. Follow the path of the originals. Toxic Avenger 2 might be my favourite one. It's really funny.
Do you know what? I've put down 2 and 3 to watch because I don't think I've seen them.
Watch 2 as fast as you can, mate. We'll do an episode
as fast as you can.
I would say
1.5 speed.
Rush there to watch it, then watch it normally. The first 10-15 minutes alone, where he just fights a stream of goons, is incredible. I'm looking forward to the game getting its release in I think fairly soon. It's about to come out. Yeah. It's fairly imminent upon us. I want to see more of this. The only other note I had otherwise was it was very strange for this to be followed up immediately by Jimmy and Stiggs, because I feel like in the FrightFest running order, because arguably, and I know you mentioned this when we talked about the Toxic Avenger earlier on, there is a little bit of a use of CG, and I understand that's for practical reasons and in keeping with films now, not films that came out in the 80s. For me, it was strange to see how practical and how bloody and dirty Jimmy and Stiggs was, and not see as much of that in a Toxic Avenger film.
Yeah, I think
it was maybe at its purest message, maybe slightly out-traumaed by a non-trauma movie that came out just afterwards.
Yeah.
And again, it's not a blunt criticism. It's not to take stars away from this movie, because I still enjoyed it an awful lot for what it was. But I did, when we were watching in that cinema, on that killer nuts scene that you mentioned in one of your awards, when someone cops an injury and it is computer generated rather than practical, I genuinely sat back in my chair and was like, what?
Yeah.
And that's me showing my age, not a slight at the filmmaking. They made an artistic choice, and it's not a bad one. It's not delivered poorly. It's just not delivered how I expected while I was watching a trauma film.
Yeah, I mean, it's not perfect, and I feel like I can understand why trauma fans would not maybe like it, but for a remake / reboot of a beloved franchise, you know, I feel like they've done right by it tonally, at least. It still sort of sits well within that sort of trauma world. Loads of Easter eggs as well, like sort of talking about sort of the names of areas, and obviously we said about Lloyd Kaufman's cameo as well. So it feels like, at its core, it understands the DNA of those films and respects them. So, yeah.
Yeah, and you know what? Things have to change to stay relevant and to keep coming out.
Yeah.
Things that wouldn't be to my personal taste or wouldn't be my personal artistic choices, would I rather see a choice that I wouldn't have made personally happen, and for a franchise which I love come to a whole load of new audiences, for me to be able to see a new one at a horror film festival, sitting next to you, Ben, watching these things, talking to the main actor after it came out. Wonderful. I want to see these things happen. If I'd want the things to stay the same forever and was going to be absolutely vitriolic if anything changed, I'd be hosting a Star Wars podcast instead of a horror one. So long may it continue. Keep on doing these things.
On.
And
should we?
Yeah, more new Toxic Avenger, please.
Please. Let's give it a rating, because we do that at the end of our reviews usually.
Yeah.
I'd give it something like a B+. I think I enjoyed it. I'm looking forward to watching it again. I told a lot of people about it, and hopefully people are going to go out and check it in cinemas. If not, whenever it's streaming anywhere. I feel like it's always satisfying when a film has maybe like a difficult release, that you finally get to see it, and you finally get to see it in a cinema as well. That's always a good feeling. So for me, the overall experience of being at FrightFest and getting a chance to see it, and of course with Louisa's intro, chatting to her afterwards, I'm going to go for a B+.
I'm going to go slightly below you, Ben. Maybe it's just that hangover from the rest of my trauma lineage that's still corrupting my DNA, but I'm going to go with B. Still a really, really solid, really, really fun movie. I go a B rather than a B+, because I still think if someone was to offer me the 2 tapes right now, which one I'm going to watch, I might still go back and laugh along more with the original. But oddly enough, if I was showing it to other people, it's like, oh, what's one of these Toxic Avenger films you like? I'd be sensible enough to say, here, watch the new one. It's far more digestible to a normal person.
To a normal person, yeah. It's far more... It's not as spicy.
Yeah.
Okay.
And also, Louisa was great. I'm a big fan.
Yeah, absolutely.
Like, hearing the work she put into it and everything, it was incredible. She deserved that slushy machine that they gave her.
Oh my god,
Keep her cool on set in all those prosthetics.
100%. Okay, right, Andy. We're on the home stretch.
I've got a little game for you. I was going to suggest a little bit of FrightFest name game, but because people aren't so familiar with the FrightFest films, with their own DNA, and the difficulty we've had a special bonus guest submitted for name game today.
Yeah,
for the purposes of time, do you want to play my other game I've got for you to finish up today?
Yes, indeed. I'd love to, Andy.
Ben, I'm going to play a game with you. It's called Mic'd Up. And it's about whether a person, I'm going to go by their professional name. I'm not giving you character names. I'm not going to be like Laurie Strode.
Okay.
But I want to know in each case, I'm going to give you someone's name who works in the film industry. And I want to know if they have faced off against Michael Myers, famous masked murderer from horror films, Mike Myers, comedic actor, star of Wayne's World, and Austin Powers, neither or both.
Oh, I didn't realise those were options.
Well,
God.
Done a bit of research.
So, someone who's appeared on screen with Michael Myers or Mike Myers and faced off against them and been an adversary of.
Yeah, so they have worked with Michael, Mike, neither or both.
Michael, Mike, neither or both. All right, okay.
I'll start you with a nice Under Armour, I would say. But is he going to overthink it, everybody? Because I put in his mind that it could be neither or both. Jamie Lee Curtis.
Probably, yeah. Wait,
Jamie Lee Curtis, Ben.
What did you say? You said Jamie Lee Curtis?
Yeah, Jamie Lee Curtis.
For some reason, you said it so quietly that it went under the radar for me. Okay, so Jamie Lee Curtis. When? See, are we thinking Shrek as well?
I've got in his head.
Oh God, Shrek. Yeah, Shrek. I'm just going to say Michael.
You're correct to say Michael. Stick with it. It's just Michael Myers she's faced off against.
I'm trying to think if she's voiced like a minor Shrek character or something like that.
She has not. How about, Ben, Brad Dourif?
Oh, Brad Dourif. Brad Dourif.
Of course, you're known famously as the voice of Chucky,
yeah.
the murderous doll.
Neither.
I'm afraid, Ben, you are incorrect. Brad Dourif is the sheriff in Rob Zombie's
Oh, God.
Halloween reboots.
Yeah, you're right. Was it just Michael, that one?
Just Michael has been the correct
he is
answer.
the sheriff. So I was picturing him for some reason. Whenever I think of Brad Dourif, I only think of him in the opening scene of Child's Play. I can only see him in that kind of like coat, bit of a scarf, greasy kind of like hair. Yeah, is that what we're saying? That's him. That's the badger.
Isn't a lot. That's the badger. Here's another one for you, Ben. Are you ready?
Yeah.
Eli Roth.
Oh, God. When would he have faced off against Mike Myers? Inglourious Bastards. Right.
So you go for just a mic, or a
Right.
both?
Let's think about this. Mike Myers is in Inglourious Bastards. Does he take him on? Yes. Let's say yes. He does. Is he
Doesn't
in a
have to take him on. He's just there with him.
Oh, so he's not an adversary. Just
yeah, it doesn't have to be an
there
adversary.
with him.
Yeah.
Is he in a Halloween film?
Eli Roth, isn't it? He's all over horror. Is he?
I'm going to say Mike. Just Mike.
It is just Mike.
Yes.
Correct. Yes. How about Tom Adkins?
Oh. Tom Atkins famously doesn't go up against Michael Myers because he's in Halloween 3 where there's no Michael Myers. He's on TV,
That doesn't
obviously.
count. That doesn't count. That's fine.
That doesn't count. Neither.
Correct. Neither.
Yes!
No,
I remember this feeling.
No.
I can't wait to the Christmas quiz now, Andy.
Yeah, he's getting there. He's getting in there. How about Michael McDonald?
Michael McDonald.
Have you any clues to who they are? But Michael McDonald.
Michael McDonald is the guy who... Sorry, I was just reading a comment on the YouTube video. Steven says Brad Dourif is the sweatiest guy to ever appear on screen. I misread it as sweetest guy to ever appear on screen.
Sweetest. He could be two things.
He could be two things. Sweaty.
He strikes me as a nice man.
Yeah, lovely bloke. I'm going to say both for this one because I'm pretty sure that's the name of the guy who is in Halloween Kills or Ends.
Yeah.
Who gets killed, and he's also the one who gets steamrollered by Mike Myers.
He is. That is who it is.
Powers.
It's the actor that gets steamrollered by Mike Myers in Austin Powers.
I could have
and
easily
plays Big John in Halloween Kills.
I could have easily been confused by that, but I think I read the headline like 3 or 4 days ago. So
Actually, I don't think it's Big John. I think it's Little John.
Little John
he
is
is
Big John as
ironically
well.
big.
I see what you mean. Swapped over.
They've swapped over like Robin Hood, Merry Men style.
Yeah.
How about Paul Rudd?
Paul Rudd, Halloween 5. Mike Myers must be in a film with Mike Myers in some way. Shrek? No, probably not. Don't say like, what's it called? The Love Guru.
I will actively say at this point that I've not looked into screenings or IMDb listings for Saturday Night Live where it's almost inevitable they've both been on it, but I'm not counting those.
So if that's the case, let me go for Michael.
It is just Michael according to the research that
Yes!
I've done. And finally,
You talked me out of it then. I was going to go for both.
Marco Schnabel. Marco Schnabel.
Marco Schnabel?
Marco Schnabel.
Do I know who that is? Should
I don't
who that
know.
is? I don't know. Because
What's your first name?
Marco Schnabel. Schneebly. Let's say both.
It's just Mike. He is the director of The Love Guru.
I'm
So I guess
glad.
they weren't on screen together, but they appeared together. And you
Press
could in
junkets.
many ways say that Mike Myers caused him some damage with
I'm
with
glad
that
that I didn't go, oh yeah, director of Love Guru. I'm glad.
my favourite film. And that's all she wrote, Ben. That is lovely quiz. Hope you
man, I was
enjoyed
enjoying
that.
that was good fun,
Get a little taste of a different type of quiz.
A little
And keep my
taste of the
powder
quiz
dry
coming
for the
up.
big Christmas quiz.
Oh man, good times, good work. And a pretty good showing from me, I think, considering I reckon I was at 4%.
80%.
80%? I was going to say
I didn't work out the maths. You did all right.
4% confident going into that, thinking you're going to hit me with some names I've got no idea. But yeah, luckily, remembered Inglourious Bastards, remembered Paul Rudd and Halloween. Let's go.
Just got it.
I mean, that's it. That's it, Andy. That's all we got down for episode 400. We've done it. We've completed 400 episodes of Pod.
I say that's all. We've bloody smashed a lot out there.
Oh yeah, I'm not talking us down. That's all. I never would. We've been harder working. This is the thing, you know. You think some people get a bit older, get a bit further into the episodes, 400, might start slowing down. I feel like all we're doing is ramping it up. So
If anything, ramping up. Right. We're going to keep that content coming, guys. You can expect, unforeseen circumstances notwithstanding, another 400 from us at least. We'll be around.
At least another 400, mate, yeah. Weekly episodes will continue to be a thing. New guests all the time. Old guests, of course. Reactions to trailers. We'll still try and knock them out every now and again. Interviews, absolutely. Mini reviews, as we mentioned, yes. But you know what? Keep an eye on our socials as well. Not just on the podcast feeds and the YouTube feeds.
Yeah.
Because our socials, every single day we're posting horror content. So
we thought actually for these mini reviews, so we don't want to get your podcast feed all crowded. We'll put them on the YouTube. We'll put them on the Shorts channel. We won't rip the audio out of these because they're only a couple of minutes long.
Yeah. But
So
basically,
get us on. You can put up with our faces for 3 minutes. Come on.
basically what we're saying is we're going to give you the content in any form you like it. Audio, video, short, long, and then you can consume it at your leisure in whatever format you like. So
I've been teaching myself to use DaVinci, Ben. One of these days we'll put a full documentary out. We'll just drop it.
yeah. Oh my god, can you imagine it? Oh, dude. You know what? Thanks everybody for listening. If you enjoyed the show, please become a Patreon over at patreon.com/Horror Hangout. We need a way of keeping that up to date as well. At the moment, we kind of like populate it with everything we post on all the other feeds. Exclusive content is something we still need to work on. Give us some feedback, what you want to see, what you want more from us over there. Or, of course, Patreon is also a good way of just supporting us. And you can support us from as little as you want to add for a monthly fee on there. So please do it. It definitely helps us. It's helped us in the past, and it'll help us.
To quote some of my favourite YouTubers, Channel James and Meso here, any amount that you would not miss. Like, don't put yourselves into strife.
Crazy.
If you want to back us up with a little something,
exactly, and
it helps us pay for those FrightFest tickets and helps me get a bit of fruit and veg down, Ben, when we're stuck in London town. It's expensive.
A bit of fruit and veg, and we've got a new patron, Sean McKenna. So thank you for that, Stephen Christopher. I think we always refer to you as. You forgot the most important thing. Friday the 13th, the series. I don't know if you're asking for us to say we thank Friday the 13th, the series, just for existing, because we do. But also, Andy didn't talk about his episode this week because he's been busy boy.
Been on a FrightFest hiatus, but I'll be back.
But it's on Pluto TV
back
in
on
the
season
UK.
2 very soon.
Stephen, you're not in the UK, so it's a shame. But I'm sure. Wait, you've got it. He's got a copy.
Stephen's bought copies.
He's got the DVD, of course. But yeah, thanks to everybody for the last 400 episodes, and thanks. And here's to 400 more. But of course, thanks Andy, because you know what? Without you, I'd just be on my own. Well, not always on my own, but it wouldn't be half as fun as it is.
Yeah, thanks to you, Ben, for being a right horror dude. It was lovely to spend some time together in person the other week.
Do you know what? I will say this, despite the fact that we're on it and we are working, but it never ever feels like that, does it? It always feels like how we like to make it feel. The hangout, the horror hangout. We're hanging out with friends. We're hanging out with people we've just met. And the most part, me and you hanging out and laughing and talking crap and walking the long way around Leicester Square and eating a lovely Greg's.
Oh yeah, when Rich Osmond shuts down the square. Cheers, Rich.
I'm walking home at 3 a.m.
As the crow flies.
When the night tube's closed and you're half cut and I'm zero cut.
Yeah.
And just
What
going.
a time.
Oh, I think the bus stops here. No, yeah. It's always a pleasure. It's always a good time, but it always destroys me like FrightFest flu. Immediate, hit me in the face. You know what? Give us a rating and a review as well. 5 stars, no less.
Yeah, no less. If you're thinking of giving less, actually that puts you on a list of people that are a piece of shit.
This is exactly what
So
happens.
yeah, put a chuck those stars up there. Let us know what you want. Obviously, we'll pay more attention to what you want more or less of.
Yeah.
If you tie that to a 5-star review or a Patreon pledge, then we'll take your feedback into account. Otherwise, you think we're just one of those haters that you hear about on the internet so much these days.
Haters with a Z. What else are we on? Threads, Instagram, Facebook, TikTok, YouTube. And I will say...
It's all on the website, is that what you say?
We're really good at posting every day on every platform. That's not a joke. That's true. That's
says we mostly bet.
Committed. That's commitment, that is. Yeah, but you're there tinkering away in the background, giving me ideas, helping me out. But horrorhangout.co.uk is where you can find everything in one place. Next week, The Conjuring, The Last Rites. No, just Conjuring Last Rites. With Draw Up One Last Breath podcast. This has been a long time coming as well, so we're looking forward to that. Not live. I'm kind of glad it's not live because
5 people live, man.
because trying to tinker away at all these little things in the background has been crazy. But yeah, we could do more of these if people are enjoying them. Thanks to all people, all regular listeners. That really helps keep us going, and thanks to new listeners as well, because we love it when people. We had that at FrightFest. We said that we had people coming up to us at FrightFest saying they love the podcast, they listen. Good. I think us having the pink mics made us stand out a bit more this time, so that was good.
Yeah, but for now, thanks for 400 episodes, everybody. Love you all. Kisses, and happy birthday.
What a great way to end the podcast. See you later, everybody.